Jesus. One. I think they might be all right. Hang on.
Oh, who's the keeper? Subra isn't keeping. Sorry. Welcome back, everyone, for our second game. It's Pembroke versus Wicklow. It's a T20 game. And Wicklow have won the toss. And they have decided to bat first. And they've asked Pembroke to chase the game. So it's role reversal for Pembroke, for those who watched the first game. And Pembroke would be expecting that they get a nice and decent start, and the captain, Gordon Clark, has thrown the ball to Justin Doherty. Joining me today this afternoon is James Creswell.
Good afternoon, all. Yeah, as Prashant said, we're back here again for the second part of the derby. Just about to tee off now with Pembroke just finalising their field. So we have a keeper, looks like first slip. Was it a very deep gully?
Yes, deep gully. There's a cover and there's a mid-off. Yeah, it's
it's
short third.
Short third, man. It depends on tomato. Here we go. First ball. And it's popped up in the air. Oh, that's risky. Good signs there for Pembroke.
Little bit of swing for Justin, and the batsman slashes, gets the outside edge, over the covers for a single.
Anyway, they're off the mark. Not probably the most graceful way to go, but they, a run's a run. So they open their account with a single, and new batsman to face. Oh,
That stayed low and called wide.
He does tend to swing it out, and if you get the line slightly wrong, it can be a bit, especially if it's a line ball, it can be judged wide. But anyway, just testing the boundaries there.
Justin steaming in.
That's better. Oh, yes.
Play and a miss.
Virtually no foot movement there, just sort of dabbed at it, really.
Yeah. I think batsmen sometimes make this error early in the innings, right? So they're not sure of whether the ball will move out or in. So they're usually stuck to the crease.
Yeah, it's almost on every level of cricket you see that happen. That's a bit better. He got forward for that.
That's lifted over the bowler's head for just a single. Miscommunication, and the batsman run for two. Actually, good call from the non-striker who said it's danger and I'm running for it. So he got 2 runs.
Yeah, it was a good bit of running there. I actually thought there'd only be one in that, but it was just deep enough, or slow enough from the fielder to give them enough opportunity to come back. Good running.
Oh, it's played with delicate hands. Was expecting a single, but Sahil, who's at gully, cut them off.
Yeah, so as we were saying, we have a gully, we have sort of white or cover, we have deep cover.
Mm-hmm.
We have square leg. What else do we have there? We have someone down in the deep over the bowler's head, like a really deep, tight mid-on.
That's a beautiful ball. Batsman tried to poke it, but Sahil cut them off again.
Yeah, it's a good over.
Absolutely. 5 balls bowled, 4 runs, no wicket. And the batsmen, Fusco and Riker, quickly moving the scoring. So, decent start for both teams.
Oh.
I would say that's missed out. Running for 2, running at the danger end, and Justin fails to collect it. Was genuine shot for run out though.
Yeah, I think there was a very sharp opportunity. I don't think Justin, it was very low. If it had been bounced in front of him, he may have had a chance to grab it, but then it would have come in slower. But good running.
Yep.
That's a good sign for
Pembroke.
Wicklow County. Oh, actually, I was going to say for Wicklow County, they have 2 guys in the middle there who are quick between the wickets.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think captain realizes that and toss the ball to Dan, who's right arm pace bowler.
So he's just measuring his run up. So after the first over, it's 6 for a loss of no wicket.
Yep.
That's very good. So
6 balls, 6 runs, decent start.
bit of discussion out there in the middle, just trying to get the field placings right.
And I think Captain Gordon Clark has decided Subramaniam, who plays for the Pembroke Fifth, to stand at covers. Subra is usually a keeper, but today he's fielding at covers. And then there is Joy, who's walking down at mid-on. I think there is Ethan, who's at mid-off. So I think Ethan wants everyone to close in, and he's moving Bhushan far end, more inside, or square up for the batsman.
So he obviously wants him to get a off-stump line.
Yep.
Here he goes. Ooh, starts with the wide, not what the captain really wanted, but maybe just put in a bit of an effort there. There was a big grunt from the bowler.
Absolutely, and I also think Dan realizes that the batsman has got no foot movement, so he's just swinging it. Might as well bowl outside the off stump and hope that he gets an edge. Because if he slashes, and slashes hard, it's a 4, but if he edges it, it's a wicket.
Yeah, he's got to be careful, though, because he hasn't got a lot of margin for error. There's no slips or gully,
Yep.
so, you know, you can't bowl it too wide.
That's the one which
that's
captain
better.
will be happy.
Yeah, that's a good comeback. That's a better line.
Yep.
Batsman didn't really know what to do with that.
I have a question for you, James.
Mm-hmm.
As a fast bowler, do you like guys who don't talk, just go about, do their business, or do you like the fiery instinct in a fast bowler?
I like a bit of both. I do like a guy who's not intimidated and who's prepared to go down there and give the batsman the glare. I don't think you need to really say much. Ooh, that's worth
It's a good shout.
I like a guy who's fiery because, but you know, controlled fire, I suppose, is what everyone's always
Yep.
wants. Here we go for the replay. Oh, just going down leg.
Yeah, and the ball swung in. He didn't expect that kind of swing early in the innings, but and also hit the thigh pad, and he was well outside the leg stump. So
Yeah, it was you know, wasn't going to hit the stumps, but worth a shout just to keep them honest. I like a captain. A bowler that has a bit of fire in the belly, because sometimes you can just get that bit of extra out of them, but not at the expense of giving away wides and no balls and things like that. You know, they have
not like a Sean Tate kind of a bowler.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, you know, I like it more
Controlled aggression.
Well, probably like Glenn McGrath even back in the day, who could just bowl on a consistent length and line and length the whole innings, but he had a fire in his belly and he wanted to get you out. But it was like he had patience as well. You got to have a bit of a few different characteristics. It's no point just being pops it up in the air.
Just raced over the bowler's head, and Ethan at mid-off cuts off for just a single. I think both bowlers, Justin and Dan, would be pretty happy with how it's going, because they are finding enough swing in the pitch, and there's little breeze which is helping the ball go away from the batsman, and the batsmen haven't been able to time the ball that well.
No, but so far, Pembroke will be very happy with that. He's not timing it, but he's popping it up. So it's an opportunity early on that they'd be sort of keen to exploit if they can. Here he comes in again. Just drifts onto the legs a little bit, I suppose, and he's able to work that away.
A nice wrist work by the batsman. He actually went to back foot and just flicked it off his pads.
Yep.
It's probably one of the most technically difficult shots to play, because if you don't get your flick right at the time, you might just sky the ball. And that's exactly why we have a fielder at the deep, where the captain has decided that if he flicks it and if he doesn't get the right timing, it's up in the air and that fielder comes in business.
Yeah, he's there for the one that drifts onto legs, but he's got a very stacked offside field, so that's what he'd be.
Yep.
Oh,
just a wild swing.
That was rash.
Yep.
I think maybe that was I'm not sure why he played that shot, and he's probably saying that to himself. That wasn't a good shot to play. Not this early in the game, not when you've got to build its innings. I mean, they're 10 for 0, almost in two overs.
Yeah.
Why do anything rash?
Absolutely. I think what people don't realize in T20 is that it's also about building the innings rather than just going for it from ball one.
Exactly.
Yep, the same shot, same mistake, and the bowler will be the happier of the lot.
Well, you look at what winning scores, especially on this sort of level, where you've got 120 balls. So if you get a run a ball, there's 120 runs on the board, and obviously you're always going to get some extra boundaries and that sort of stuff. So if you can get, just
140, 150, you've got a decent chance.
You don't have to be IPL. T20 doesn't mean IPL. Those guys have special skills that most people don't have. So. You'd be better off just getting singles, doubles, and you'll eventually get boundaries that come anyway. So before you know it, you'll be able to put on 140, 150, maybe even higher.
Yeah, absolutely.
And get a competitive score.
And I think sometimes as opening batsman, you are so tasked with this that you need to up the ante. So they go from ball one and there's no need for it.
Well, as we've seen in the previous game and also probably in the other games, if you can stay in and put 50 or 60 on in the first 10, then you'll probably put another 100 on the next 10 if you've got wickets in hand.
Yep.
Oh, that's a beautiful Yorker. But he dug it out. Well done. He just kept that. No point.
Yep, there's no point throwing for the mid-off fielder as well because there was no one backing up, would have given unnecessary extra runs. I think...
Sorry. Go ahead, mate. I was going to say, it was well bowled and he dug it out well. So, got a single for the team. Again, playing to your field, bowling to your field there.
I think this is what experience does to you because Justin hasn't deviated from his field at all while Dan has slightly sprayed outside, but I think he will eventually learn on how to control his swing as well because Justin is a seasoned campaigner and if you look at him, all the balls he's bowled is the same at the right spot, backing his own fielder.
Absolutely. He's not express pace at all, but he has that experience about putting it in the right line of length. The other thing that I noticed about this guy, that's the style he's going to play. So,
there's a difficult catch, but the mid-off fielder reached it almost.
That's okay. I mean, sooner or later he's going to run. That's why I think Justin wouldn't be too upset about this guy being on strike. He doesn't have... He's obviously he can hit the ball well, but he doesn't seem to have a lot of patience. So if his 1 or 2 dot balls goes past him, he's going to go for the big hoik.
Yeah, I think it's a pressure which they put unnecessarily on their head. You don't need to. He's just at the Nando.
See, you can just see there's misfield run out. Is it? No.
Nah.
Oh, that's
that's good running actually.
Yeah, good calling.
Yep.
Loud calling.
Yes, absolutely. So it's almost 3 overs. They're Wicklow are 14 for no wicket, which is actually a decent score. It's not out of the world. It's definitely not bad.
Well, look at all games. The best bowlers are the opening bowlers. So,
let's play in a mess. I think the batsman Fusco is more of see the ball hit the ball zone, but right now he isn't seeing the ball that well, so he needs to be patient.
Well, it's important here for Wicklow that they don't lose the wicket early.
Yep.
That's so if it's wide and it's there to be hit, and you miss it, fine. But last thing they need is to be caught or bowled. Going for a silly wide ball or a ball you don't have to. You'll just play and get a single, and if you go and make the wrong shot, but. Anyway, as it is, it's 3 overs down, no loss, no wickets down for 15. So, interesting balance there. Wicklow, I think Pembroke would be happier than Wicklow at this stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And also Pembroke would realize that they have tried to hit it, haven't been able to pull off. What they would look from Dan is get another over, try and hit the top of the off stump, and you never know, you might just get lucky.
True. Now to take you into the next 3 overs, I'm going to leave you with it and hand it over to Eli Clark.
Welcome back, Eli.
Thank you, Prashant. How are you?
I am good. What do you think about the bowling so far?
I think it's been good. Down on the leg.
And rightly called as a wide. So Dan has bowled his first over, has given 3 extras and just a single run of the bat. So if you were Dan, what would you tell yourself right now?
I'm saying relax myself, just think about the next ball. Don't think about the last one. How am I going to get this guy out? How am I going to bowl a dot?
Fair enough. Would you think about getting a wicket right now? Would you think about getting my rhythm right now?
I feel like getting your rhythm, and in that you can also get yourself a wicket if you feel comfortable. That's a much better ball from Dan.
That's a decent comeback from Dan. That's exactly where his captain would want him to bowl. Slightly outside the off, let him play for the swing and nick it one.
Played and miss again.
Another play and miss.
Yeah, if I'm Wicklow, I'm thinking 16 off 3.2 overs. It's an okay start. Again, runs will come, as we seen in Pembroke against Ashburn.
Yep.
If you just get through the middle overs, and if you get through the start, the new ball, the opening bowlers, you only maybe one down balls in the air there. Subroth's chasing that, screams for two. They'll get it.
I think the batsman played it smartly, raced it over cover, and the batsman quickly chased for 2 runs. And Dan needs to get his radar right and try and bowl slightly outside the off. And he realizes that, it's not the best of the ball. It's certainly not his best ball at all.
Yeah, sometimes if you want to find your radar, you almost bowl slightly slower just to find your radar, and then you can get back to your normal pace as Dan comes in again. Another play and miss. That's the third one of this over. It's been a better over from Dan, a wide and 2 runs at the moment.
That's 3 from the over and 4 balls bowled. So all Dan needs to do is continue his rhythm. And also for the batsman, right, he's missed a couple of swings. So all he needs to do is just get your eye in first. There's no point slogging from ball 1. And usually your best bowlers are your opening bowlers. So there is no point hitting the best bowler all the time.
Another play and miss. This time slightly wide. Umpire doesn't give a wide. The reason is
it's still inside the line, the blue line which you can see on the screen.
Yeah. The reason Nicky is giving himself some room, which is making it in some instances it's easier if the bowler bowls full, but Dan's bowling just that back of a length, and it's hard for Nicky. Maybe Nicky is just backing away a little bit. Nicky definitely doesn't feel right. He looks like he's almost backing away, but 4 from it is 18 for none after 4.
I think it's a brilliant over from Dan, just 3 off it and 4 off it, and almost a shout for LBW, but the ball had hit the bat. So nothing much about it, and I think captain goes back to Justin Doherty to continue.
Well, Justin this season what he's done is he's bowled his 4 straight away. Because Justin is a good opening bowler with the new ball, gets a lot of swing, bowls it really full. So he's more of an opening bowler, not a death bowler. You've death bowlers like Dan, Brendan.
Yep.
Yeah, and all those. So you need to just know how many your bowler needs to bowl.
Yeah, and also there's a change in field. The third man comes a lot squarer for Fusco.
Hit on the pad, big appeal, the finger goes up, and Pembroke get the breakthrough. It's Justin Doherty gets Nicky.
I think the batsman completely misjudged the line, played across and plumb LBW for the umpire. Easy decision to make, and Pembroke strike with Justin Doherty. The score is after 4 overs and 1 ball bowled. It's 19 for 1.
That looks very, very out. Hits him pretty straight, you can see here. The umpire didn't take long. Yes, that looks very, very out. The umpire has made a very good decision there. Didn't take long to give it, but the finger went up.
Yep. Good start by Pembroke. And
batter's name?
That's the breakthrough that Pembroke needed. Break that opening partnership, and it's Justin Doherty who done it.
Just tell me, it doesn't matter to him. I don't need somebody. Just tell me the name.
The scorer, Graham Mooney, trying to find out the batsman's name.
Yeah, instead of word, just tell me the fucking name. What?
As the new batter.
the new batsman's name is Prabjeet, and he joins in Raika.
The thing is, when you've just come after a wicket in the early stages, you're looking to see out the new bowler. Just even if that means 5 dot balls, just get your eye in, because then the ball will be swinging a lot.
Yep. There's no point going after the bowler on ball 1 when you haven't had an eye on the ball. So might as well just wait and watch.
And even if you look at, there's long on out. Ethan Clark is down at long on.
Yep.
Just a simple push of the ball. If it's full, get a single, and you just release all the pressure.
Absolutely. And I think this is what people don't realize in T20s. It's not about the 6 and 4s. It's a game of fine margins. So even single or doubles would always make a lot of difference.
Play down.
And nicely called by Justin, saying that he'll get the ball.
And please, if you're near Pembroke Cricket Ground, you're more than welcome to come down and watch this game. It's a beautiful day, and cricket is a beautiful game.
Absolutely, Eli. And Justin would be looking to close off this over well. He's bowled 3 balls, a wicket and no run. And he's charging in.
It's a bit too full. Goes out to Joy. Underarm. Joy's got a bit of a shoulder problem. He can't throw as well. But a single, and that just releases the pressure from the batter.
Absolutely. And I think people don't realize the value of singles and doubles because all they think about is slogging, hitting 6s and 4s.
It's a bit too on the leg. Dan Murray gets a hand to it. Just a single to end a good over for
There's one more ball left.
One
more left.
One to go.
Yep. And I think the field placing is very attacking. Justin has realized that both the batsmen are still new. They haven't got their eye in, and he's bowling a 4th stump line just outside the off.
Yeah, one batter faced 3 balls, 1 10 ball. So you're very right there, Prashant. Oh, it's a good ball.
Play and a miss, and the batsman shuffled his feet, but keeper couldn't collect it, but it was a difficult chance for him anyway. So it's end of 5 overs, 21 for 1. And I assume there would be... I think there would be Dan who would continue back his 2nd over.
Yeah, it's a very good over for Pembroke.
Yep. Sorry, the 3rd over. My bad.
Yeah, getting the wicket. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Daniel. Ball in hand. He's going to look to bowl some slower balls. Or he's got a bag of tricks, does young Daniel Murray.
Yep.
Now, one of your players didn't show up on Crick Clubs, just to let you know. Vishal, you did not show up. So, I don't know. It wasn't on the list for them. So you're in
Dan Murray coming in.
I'll email them after the game.
Swing, big swing, and that's gonna race away to the fence for 4. It's a bit of a hack, but it's a 4 all the same.
Absolutely, and I think that 4 was much needed for Wicklow because they realized that Dan was going to bowl it a bit short. The batsman was ready and he just swung it across square leg for a well-deserved boundary, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's also time for reflection for Dan to just look at it and say, I can bowl much better on the 4th stump. There's no need to bowl short.
But if I'm Dan Murray and Pembroke and Gordon Clark the captain, I'm thinking, you know what? Let him play that.
Yep.
Because 2 out of 5 times he will edge that up in the air.
Just as you say, he got an outside edge and the batsman quickly steal in a single. They think for the 2nd, but they don't want to chase Naveen's arm. So
Great fielding from Sahil.
Oh, sorry, it's Sahil at the boundary.
Yeah.
can hear Pembroke shouting to Daniel, saying that stick to your field and bowl according to your field. And it's a new man in, Singh, who's facing Dan.
Play and miss. Oh, just falling a little short of the keeper.
Yep.
And you're almost lucky that didn't hit the helmet. But as a keeper, people don't realise how hard that is if the ball drops just short of you, because you have to get down, get your gloves down, and even that you're risking hurting yourself, breaking a finger.
Yep. And also as a keeper, those are the kind of balls you want to avoid. You're like, it's okay if it hits my pad, but not on my finger because it can break. Beautiful ball, another outside edge, and long chase for Sahil, and he fumbles. But he cuts it off just for a single. Oh, for a double.
It's been a good over so far for Wicklow. A run at least every ball.
Yeah, it's 8 runs of 4 balls, which means they have slightly increased their run rate. So it's almost 34 balls and 29 runs for Wicklow. They would be pretty happy with it. So it's almost 5.5 runs and over.
Yeah, Raikar 13 off 13, so he's up the ante. It's going to be a wide ball. It's also a fumble from Charlie, the keeper. So yet another bye, and he's going to have to re-bowl that ball down. Just has to calm himself down and just think on the next ball. Don't think about the next the ball
previous
before.
one. Yeah, and also think as a fast bowler, sometimes it's a big problem if you don't get your length and the line right, because the length determines whether the batsman goes for a 6 or a 4, and the line determines how accurate are you. As of now, Dan has been lacking both.
It's a bit of fuller ball.
That's the one which his captain would be saying, that's the one which I want you to bowl. There's no point bowling a short ball. And Dan has thrown the ball to the ground, visibly frustrated, but he has to just calm his nerves down.
Yeah, he is. It's just not being the right over, just not being the best over for Dan. Of course, as I've always said, a boundary on the first over is always pressure on the bowler.
Absolutely.
Nice shot.
That's a beautiful, beautiful shot over mid-off and runs for a 4. Dan finishes off his third over with a slightly over-pitched ball, and Riker says, thank you very much. That's boundary. So 6 overs gone, 36 for 1 for Wicklow, and we have a change in the commentary box.
And I welcome into the commentary box Craig Senior.
Afternoon, Eli. Afternoon, everyone. What a lovely bank holiday Monday. What else would you be doing? Joining the traffic and the hordes down on Bray Beach? Coming down Sydney Parade and watching some fine cricket. The Force entertaining us today. They had a win in the first game.
Well, what did you think of that last over, Craig?
Well, I think Wicklow have got off to a decent start.
I feel like Dan just lost his head a little bit through that over, bowling a couple of wides and two fours in that over, just releasing the pressure from Wicklow County. Now they're 36 off 6 for loss of 1 wicket.
They're at a runner ball, and they continue that with a single off the first ball of Doherty's 4th over. Justin bowling all the way through now. He did bowl in the first game as well. Well, Riker on 17, he's just over a runner ball.
Yeah, Riker proved very a handful for Dan in that last over. Mix up, but...
Good early call saved the wicket there, I feel.
Yeah, and Gordon Clark fielding well, just no need to throw that ball because there's no one backing up. That just...
Well, leading by example is Gordy Clark, first year captain of the Force.
Just hit. Great ball from Justin. It's not a half volley and it's not a back of the length ball. It's just on the up. not easy for the batsman to hit that, and that goes for a single.
Well, one feels that the batsman, he decided on one shot before Justin let go of the ball.
Defended well, straight back to Justin. It's been a good over so far, just 2 runs from the 4 balls.
Well, he's missed a consistency. A little bit of sinus clearing there in the studio.
Bit Fuller get a single.
Searching for that youth, that Yorker. He's noticing that the batsman, I think, isn't moving his feet tremendously much, and Justin's sort of getting the ball to drop in at those feet, and it's not letting the batsman swing his arms. He can dig it out for a single, but boundary out of the question.
This is good captaincy from Gordon Clark and good bowling from Justin, because obviously the leg side boundary is the bigger boundary and it's easier to hit. So Justin is just hiding it outside off, not letting him freely hit. This has been a great over from Justin. 3 from it. The score moves to 39 for 1 after 7.
Well, Wicklow County had got as high as a run of ball before that over, but just the 3 coming from it. Justin being his usual miserly self. Just 3 runs, and that took the score on 39 for 1.
It's going to be a change in bowling. I think it's going to be Joy Deep Roy, who bowled exceptionally well. Yeah, change of bowler. Joy got 2 wickets in the game against Ashbourne. Bowled extremely well.
Well, just before we leave Justin Doherty, he's bowled his 4 overs now. He went 16 for 1. Run a ball, but vitally he's taken the 1 wicket to full so far. And now with this change of bowling.
Well, Pembroke taking a little bit in between.
Well, they're taking a bit of time to set their field, but they're making sure the right fielders are in the right places. So, Joy Deep Roy, he's going to be bowling from the St John's end. I suppose from the camera end as well this week. He's marking out his run-up. Right arm over.
Joy bowls with great enthusiasm, always gives a loud cheer after it.
Certainly gives 100%. And it's Singh facing. He's on 4.
Back of a length. It's not the best ball. It's probably a bit of a loosener, but he gets away with it with the play in this.
Well, there's a bit too much width on that delivery, one felt. The batsman thought so as well. But watch the batsman's feet here, whether you watch it live or on the monitor here in front of us, and just see that there's a distinct lack of movement. He's got an open stance at the moment. He wants to be able to free his arms. And there you see an example of it. He's clipped that one through the ring on the offside, and that's going to run away to the boundary. And that's a nice 4. But his footwork is minimal.
You can see the disgust on Joy's face, covering his hands. Gets away with an edge. It's not a good start for Joy. Boundary on the second ball. It's never good.
Well, good for what's good for North Wicklow. Wicklow County might not necessarily be what's good for Pembroke.
Fuller ball, it's a lot better bowling. Maybe an opportunity for stumping there.
You saw the batsman coming down the track towards him. That one went down the leg side.
That's a great comeback from Joy after being hit for a boundary. Dot ball. Brilliant bowling. Bit short again. Play and miss. Joy has got away twice now in this over with not the best ball, short and wide. Should be hit away for 4 or even a run or 2.
Very unusual guard this batsman's taking. He's well outside his leg stump.
It's a nice shot. A bit of a misfield from Sahil, but he's been told to hold it. And he will. 1 run from that ball. And 5 runs only from this over. It's 1 ball to go. probably deserves to be a bit more from this over. Joy ball, 2 looseners. Ooh.
Looking for a big wasp or something.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what it is. Well, that's just clubbed out
Slapped
towards Cow
away.
corner. Bruce Whaley is the fielder there. They think about the second,
Dan.
but Bruce
Dan.
Whaley makes sure.
Dan
Dan,
there.
was it? Dan. Bruce, of course, is sitting behind me.
Well, fielded Bruce.
Bruce isn't quite that tall.
That finishes okay over for both teams. 6 from it. Pembroke will be a bit relieved because that deserved to be a bit more in that over. You can see the 4 there. Can't tell if that's really intentionally placed, but it's a 4 all the same for Wicklow.
4 more onto the total. That's moved on to 45 for 1 now after 8 overs.
It looks like it's going to be a change of bowling spin coming on, as Naveen played a very, very good role in Pembroke's setting the target for Ashbourne. 15 off 11 balls, and he bowled very well.
Yeah, that's in the first of our doubleheader today. Ashbourne were the visitors. Pembroke put a very good total of 169. And Ashbourne, well, at times they looked like they'd get there, and at times they looked like they wouldn't. And it eventually turned out that they didn't. And part of it was down to Naveen, part of the big total, and part of the restriction of Ashbourne in their response. He's now bowling from the nursery end.
Well, ball just tried to guide that down to third man where Subra was. Ended up not really getting any bat on it. Dot ball in the result.
Now, we saw in the first game today, Naveen not afraid to give it some air, really tossing it up to the batsman.
As
Lots of
shown
slower
there.
balls.
Oh,
Well, even if they get 2 from that, and they're going for 2 and they're getting 2,
someone needs to be backing up, but that's gone for buzzers. It's a terrible throw from Subra, and lucky Justin Doherty. That's going on again. This is horrendous from Pembroke. That is terrible. No one backing
Well,
up either time.
you see the captain there. He's got the teapot out, both hands on hips. He's not happy with that, and I'd say the bowler's fairly not disgusted.
I think that was 5 runs actually.
Probably. I think so. Do you know who's at which end? Does that tell you?
Well, that one's just played back to the bowler. They go for the run. They go for the throw to the keeper this time. Again, nobody backing up. You can hear the plaintive plea of the captain, Gordon Clark. Just hold the ball. They don't mind the single, but overthrows are just devastating.
No, yeah, just at time Pembroke just looked not up to it in the field, throwing the ball needlessly. That's a great shot. It's
Well,
not a great ball from Naveen. It's back of a lens and it's on the stumps. Smacked
too
away.
short. Batsman stepped inside it and smacked it out behind square leg. The fielder there, Captain Gordon Clark, could do nothing but let it flow to his left, and the fielder on the boundary, Brendan Ferris, well, he couldn't make up the ground to his right. Threading the eye of the needle, 4 more onto the total. That takes the total on to
Yes, Graham. 5.
But there's no 5. How do we have 5?
There is. You have to go with extra place.
Sorry, just a bit of a problem with the score.
Oh, that's a good ball, beating the outside edge. Again, the footwork from the batsman is minimal. He really needs to make a decision as to how he's going to play Naveen. He can't really play him from his crease like that.
If I'm Naveen, I'm thinking, this guy isn't using his feet. He's batting on leg. Outside off. He'll have a swing at 1, like that, and he'll end up edging 1, or just missing 1. As an okay over. A lot of runs from it, though.
So that's the end of the over. We'll wait for the live scoring to catch up. We'll say goodbye to Eli for now. Eli, thank you very much. And
Thank
we'll
you,
see
everyone.
you for the last 3 overs of the innings. So 18 is your number, okay?
Thank you.
Joining me in the commentary box now, all the way from Melbourne, Victoria.
Yeah, I think a dot.
He's a Victorian, he's a hero, he's captain of the fifths, even if he isn't. And joining me in the commentary box, James Cresswell. Good afternoon, James.
Good afternoon, Craig. Bit of drama out there in the middle from a Pembroke point of view. They're a bit loose in their discipline. Expressed clearly by their captain his displeasure, but
Just mentioning on that, sorry to butt in, but he still has the teapot going. You can tell that his mood isn't the best now.
yeah, body language is not good. He has very high standards, but anyway, oh,
That one's popped away off the edge, down towards, through the slip area. And in fairness to Wicklow County, they are taking their singles quickly and looking for twos.
I must admit I'm actually impressed by these two batsmen, that they're, rotating the strike and not just always trying to, they're going for the ball, but they're watching the ball quickly, they're calling loudly and they're running fast.
So there we have it. The scoreboard is up to date now. 56 for 1. Oh, that's nicely played back.
Good line there, just forcing the batsman on his back foot just to defend. Dot ball's always good. But it seems to be drifting a bit here from a Pembroke point of view. Wicklow County would be delighted for this rebuild of the innings. Only one ball down, 1 wicket down. Oh.
Well, that takes them above a runner ball, brings up 60 in this, the 10th over.
Yeah, they're seeing it well. They're picking the gaps. Really important here for Pembroke bowlers to bowl a line and length that actually matches their field. Sometimes the luck just goes your way as a batting side, but after a reasonably, a little bit of a slow start at the beginning and loss of wicket, I think the Wicklow County team would be feeling a lot better now. It's starting to be a good foundation.
Well, that's the first landmark for them. They've reached 60 and it's taken them 9.2 overs. Unfortunately, our worm isn't working today, unfortunately. Did you hear something woody then?
I think I did. I think it might have been a bottom edge or something. It was a horrible full toss.
Well, you got away with that.
Yeah, lucky and it wasn't sent into the next suburb. Tried to be too hard to hit that out, but you got away with it. Slower ball.
Slower ball. It's played out on the offside, but there's no single there. Brendan Ferris drops to one. Is it Brendan? Brendan drops to one knee. Saves the single.
Like the Great Wall of China there. Nothing's getting past him. Just needs to bowl a good line here.
Oh, that's coming towards us.
It's going to be gone. Yes!
It's a super catch. Ethan Clark, safe pair of hands. It was all okay.
Well, that's a breakthrough that Pembroke desperately needed to stem this very comfortable batting partnership. Great take in the end there. As a ball was not only a couple of paces from the boundary line.
Well, it was a super catch from young Ethan Clark, and that's the end of Riker's innings. He scored 32 from 27 and was mainly responsible for getting Wicklow County into the position they are now.
Yeah, it was a great knock. He should be very happy with himself there. He's done what he needs to do for his team. Pembroke now need to tighten this bowling attack.
Well, they always do say that taking wickets is the best way of slowing down a rate. He's taken that on, and you can see it was a flailing bat rather than a shot, really. He really went for it baseball style, and that is a super catch from Ethan Clark, and he did well to position himself in front of the camera like that.
Yeah, no, well done, yeah. That's media awareness for you, isn't it?
Well, the new batsman, Rohit.
He'd be keen not to get bogged down.
Rohit Shirsat, he's welcome to the middle. And as we get towards the end of the first period.
He's taking a very, very wide, almost behind.
Again, play and a miss.
His guard is actually, further away than leg stump. He's almost like a
Second set of stumps away.
yeah, second set of stumps away. If you look at it, he's giving himself lots of room there.
That's in the air, long way. That was a poor ball from Naveen, and he knows it.
Yeah, given the treatment it deserved, it wasn't good. It's a bit like hold your nerve as a bowler here. Wouldn't mind necessarily being in the air, but you don't want to help the batsman. But anyway, fair dues to Wicklow County though. He saw it as the opportunity. He's only been in there for 2 balls and he put it away. So good on him.
Score moves on 64 for 2. 9.2 overs gone. Well, Pembroke will be keen to keep Wicklow County to a reasonable score. You don't want scoreboard pressure in the second innings.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny how these games go because in the first T20, which happened before this one on the same, a couple of hours ago, the luck seemed to go with Pembroke a bit more. The balls were going to fielders and a lot more than what it seems to be now. Wicklow County seem to be having a knack of finding gaps. And
very much so.
When they do go aerial, it's always landed in safe spots, except for the last catch, of course. But they've had a lot of times where it could have gone a few feet in either direction. It might have been a catch opportunity, but
Well, Rohit Sharat, he's showing a bit of respect to Naveen. He's played a couple of dots there now. It won't be long before he really wants to have a go at one. He understands just how short these can be. So, 5 off the over, 65 for 2, and 11 gone.
Yeah, quite a good over there from Naveen. Wasn't great, wasn't bad, but was a breakthrough.
Curate's egg, really.
Yeah, we need another breakthrough. Sorry,
It was a bit bad.
Just a bit of for both teams there, just treading water.
Yes. Yeah, that's in fact that's what that felt like. Just the 5 runs from it, no wickets, no drama. Just,
Quite pedestrian, really, wasn't it?
yeah, just treading water.
The batter's changed his gloves or something, or
No, he's taken the thigh pad off.
oh, has he?
Yeah. That's
Obviously thinks he can turn the ball, and
well. You're almost guaranteed to get hit on the thigh after you take one of those off.
Yeah.
You can go all season without being hit by one.
enjoyed it. Can you?
That's nice ball. He got that to come back into the batsman. Cramped him for room. He could play it out on the leg side though. And Captain Gordon Clark, he picks up and doesn't throw the ball for overthrows.
Yeah, I think there might be a wee bit of discussion in the dressing room after this game about overthrows and the unnecessary need for them. But this is what cricket's all about. Sometimes it's a rush of blood and people get excited and think there's an opportunity, but it's not.
Good slower ball. He shuffled up to the crease and just let that one go a little bit slower, and it did the batsman.
Yeah.
Charlie Kavanagh standing up here.
There's an intelligent bowling there, just mixing it up. That's an interesting run up there, Joy. Oh, no.
Well, that was going well down the leg. He's
Yeah.
batting outside leg.
Yeah.
And, well, that one followed him. And
Yeah.
you'd have to say, no LBW was worth appealing for there.
Yeah, square leg, didn't even bother going up. Oh, that's
Stumped
better.
that out well. That's a good ball, good length. And again, taking of a wicket has really held Wicklow County back. Rohit Shursit, he's now faced 6. This will be the 7th for him. And it's another dot. That's 7 dots in a row. And that's just what Pembroke needed. If anything, what they should do now give him a single.
Yeah, he's struggling there to find some rhythm with the bat. His foot movement's pretty ordinary. He hasn't picked up the length at all with this bowler. He'll be getting very frustrated, which normally leads to an opportunity for wickets.
And again, another dot. That pressure is mounting now on Rohit. That's the end of the over. And you know what? Just one run for it. The last 2 overs have cost
6 runs.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good comeback.
I don't think it will placate the captain, but the team are showing willing.
No, in T20, it's really strange because it's not that bad, really. I mean, because you can make it up quite quickly, but in the batsman's mind, they feel like they've, been out there and haven't scored for ages. You kind of get a different perception there, and you start to think, well, you can start to think that I must start hitting big to catch up. So my strike rate is over 100%.
Well, that's just a sin in its own right, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you're quite right. We do see it all the time, especially down in the lower leagues. The Force playing in the Intermediate Cup B here today. They have a 3-1 record now after victory in the first game.
That's a lovely shot.
Through the covers, running right up to the clubhouse. Spectators at the table, well, their conversation was disturbed for a moment, and they had to concentrate on the cricket.
That was beautiful. Just leant into it, straight along the carpet, picked the gap, straight to the fence. A lovely shot.
Lovely summer's day here in Sydney Parade. If you want to round off your bank holiday, do consider coming down. The wall is still hot. Another one that's clubbed out. That one was just a full toss, really.
Yeah, that was a bit of a... wasn't pretty, but he got away with it. Only conceded the single. We had the protection, or Pembroke had protection down there. But now there's a new batsman on strike, so we'll see where this goes.
It's in the air. He's popped it over the ring. It's going to run away towards the boundary. One has the feeling they're only going to get 2 here. 2 runs safe. Well, that just popped off the bat, really, didn't it? It wasn't such a shot. If he'd followed through, it may have been 6.
Well, if he followed through, he might have got caught. But so in some ways, he was a bit lucky there. But he's off the mark.
That run of dot balls. Big help. He's now 2 off 10. I have to say. Pembroke looking good here, Naveen. This time he clubs it up to long on. Maybe he's getting his eye in now.
Well, it was a bit of a half volley, that one. Kind of in the slot. He's just a bit too full. He seems to be struggling when you have a bit of a, if you bowl it about another foot or 2 back from him. Let us.
That one spins away off the edge and nobody's going to catch that. It runs down towards the scorer and the scorer stops it with a desperate dive.
Well, classic example, if you're going to slash hard, got enough on the edge of that and spun at great pace down to the rope.
Well, that's the end of 13 overs now. It's you.
After this over, right?
Yeah. And you'll see it through to the end, sir. You get the exciting parts. I get the middle overs. So, this innings is quite well balanced. I mean, 78, 8 wickets in hand. There's still plenty of overs to go.
So, shall we play?
It's time to play, ladies and gentlemen, on the live chat, on the text. What are Wicklow County going to end up with?
79.
Someone called out 79.
Well, we've written that down for them.
I'm going to go with 148.
Oh, you're taking the 148 this time, so nobody else can.
Yep. So sorry, Ryan, if you're watching. Anyway, there's another thick edge there, and
I've gone for 125. Niall?
Anyway, we're still looking, people are still making in their mind, doing their calculations in their head. And as Joy Deep continues. Oh, appeal there.
From the keeper.
Not really much from the bowler.
What did you say?
Must have been, if it was anything, it must have been the most faintest of feathery touches. But not given.
I won't change my mind now.
Anyway, results from the dot ball. And
Bruce, would you ask Eli how many does he think they're going to get?
so Joy Deep's bowling very well today. Oh, lovely.
Another dot ball.
It's 2 in a row now, and there's a bit of a slower ball there, I think.
Singh has been going along at a runner ball. He's now the man that Wicklow County will be looking to take this on.
What is your brother going to bowl, Eli?
Anyway, various different score predictions are happening at the moment. Oh, big winds it up. Captain stops at, probably stopped at 2 runs there, 3 runs.
Well, the captain is very determined to lead by example.
Gordon Clark there throwing himself at the ball, gets some hand on it and stops a shore boundary.
Well, 80 for 2. They haven't really pushed on. They were a runner ball at 10 overs.
Apparently Dan's there to pick that up. No, the runs are kind of dried up. They're struggling to get this off the square.
How much of it is down to Roy's tight overs and how much is down to the batsman not having the timing?
Well, I'd give the most of the credit to Joy. I think he's actually bowled really intelligently and bowled at great lengths and varied his pace. There's another one, and they just can't seem to get underneath it, and they can't. He's got an interesting pace here where he drops it back every now and again, so it's not going to fly off the bat. Intelligent bowling, that's all I can say.
Well, that's 14 overs gone. I'm going to make way now. James, how do you see this one finishing out?
Well, I think with wickets in hand, you'd have to start throwing that bat quite seriously at the moment. You know, you've got six overs to go.
What did you predict? 125.
Write yours down now.
With 8 wickets in the shed, I think you have to start really taking risk here. I mean, they are throwing the bat, but they're not getting the timing. So what do? Do you change your stance? Do you change... you go outside your crease, which is risky because the keeper is up. Do you charge? Do you try to, manufacture something? Fair play to Pembroke, though. They have slowed this down with some very good bowling. There you go. Oh, that's lovely. Not bad. Just a single, but lovely little placement there. Just ran off the edge of the bat down to a sort of a third man sort of position.
I think they've slightly controlled it well, and Naveen has been expensive for the day. 3 overs, 28 for no wicket. That's another good comeback by Naveen. He has to finish strongly.
Yeah.
And, Wicklow have actually increased the ante in between.
No, you're right. And he was very lucky to get away with that. That was a horrible full toss.
Yeah, a real loosener, actually. And you can't afford looseners right now. And it was Dan Murray who cut it for just a single. And to be fair, Wicklow have actually pressed the accelerator pretty quickly. And they're going at almost 6 and over. Almost 6 and over.
Yeah, I think they'd be hoping to get up to about 10 and over or more. I mean, straight over the bowler's head. Oh, rash. That was silly.
I think this is the second time which has happened where overthrows has given them 2 more runs. I think Pembroke guys need to just keep it calm. There's no point giving them or gifting them extra runs when there's already so much pressure. You've built it by bowling well.
Well, especially if you're not in the right position at the stumps,
Yeah.
and the batsman is pretty much in. Turning a 2 into a 3, you might come back to haunt you later on. Yeah, he's trying different things, but he's just not getting the length. He's getting lots of full tosses here now. He's been lucky that he hasn't been punished as much as he could be.
Absolutely. And I also think that Naveen has realized that, you know what, I've finally got my length right, and then he errs in his line. So I think it's a balance of both. He's been very expensive today. That's straight to the captain Gordon, and the batsmen think of a single, but eventually decided no. So that's 6 of the over. Naveen bowls out his spell, 4 overs, 33 for no wicket, and Wicklow are 88 for 2 wickets at the end of 15 overs.
Yes. His bowling, I think, was better in that last. He bowled some not so pretty balls, but he was lucky enough that they weren't turned into sixes, or at least fours. But he got away with it. Wicklow County here, I think, would be quite frustrated in the fact that they haven't got those away and haven't got 12 and runs and over and 14 and 16 runs and over with some of that bowling, because you think that most of those should have gone for 6.
Yes, absolutely. And I think they would be looking at the new bowler, which is Bhushan. And they would think, you know what, there's a new man out. And, someone like Mr. Singh, who's got 31 of 30, he would say, give me the strike, I'll target this bowler. Because we've got 8 wickets in hand. There's no point hanging back right now.
Now, Bhushan, who struggled in the first innings, has been given a responsibility again. But it's a good test for him too. It's going to be difficult. He's going to have to bowl a very good line.
Yeah, this is the replay of the catch, which was straight back at Naveen. Slightly difficult, but have to say it's a bad ball. You don't get away with that.
Well, he's lucky he had protection in the deep down there, didn't he?
Yeah.
And now, he goes for... I suppose that he could have almost...
He could have run them out.
He could have run, but he just holding the ball.
And play on a mess. So Bhushan bowls a good ball. And then again, the overthrow. The captain asked the ball to be kept, but...
Anyway.
Yep.
It is what it is. It's what's done is done. That's right.
Yep.
Anyway, good start there. Dot ball for Bhushan. I would have probably someone down here in cow corner, though.
Oh, there's a lot of gap between...
Oh, we do have actually someone that couldn't see them here.
Yeah. That's good running by Wicklow County. They've stolen 2.
Yeah, well struck out there. There's a big gap once you get past the bowler.
Yeah, Pembroke have been sloppy on the field today. They haven't caught some of the catches. They have misfielded a couple of them. A lot of overthrows.
Yeah, they don't seem to be as sharp as what they were in the earlier game. Mind you, it seems to be that a lot of luck's going Wicklow County's way as well. They just seem to be finding the gaps no matter where the field has been set.
I don't agree with you, James. There's nothing called as luck.
Yeah, well, you're probably right. But,
I think this was a well-timed shot. The batsman actually waited for the ball and cut it behind point for a 4.
Yeah, that was a good shot, actually.
Yeah. So, 3 balls, 6 runs. And Bhushan Bhaviskar's struggle continues today.
Yeah, so Singh is on 31 off 30. Shirsat is on 13 from 19 and looks like he's closing that gap.
Yeah, look at the replay for it. He actually waited for the ball and then
It's quite a class shot.
It.
Yeah, it was quite a nice shot,
That'll do a world of good for his confidence because he was initially looking struggling, but now...
Well, in the T20, you don't want to go in there with a strike rate that's under 100. You want to at least get a run of ball. So
absolutely,
it's getting a bit better equation for him, so he'd be happy with that. And yeah, you're right. It will give him confidence and think, I can get a few more boundaries before we run out of overs here.
Yeah, anything like 8 and over right now is gold dust for them because they've got 8 wickets in hand. They'll try to go for 10 to 12 and over, but 8 runs for a start is good.
Well, they can put another, like you say, another 32 or... Oh, that was rash.
Yeah, it's playing a mess.
Yeah.
And Bhushan quickly changed his length to full length.
But if they can put another 30 odd onto this and make it 120 to 130, well, it's something to defend. It's more than the run of ball.
Yep.
If they bowl well. But I'm not sure that'll be enough. I think, that's a slow ball. Oh, it's beautifully
disguised. Beautifully disguised by Bhushan, and he quickly chased to the keeper so that the batsmen don't sneak in for a single. That's good presence of mind by Bhushan Bhaviskar.
Absolutely. He's bowling a lot better than he did in the previous match. He's found a bit of rhythm now. It's 2 dot balls, especially this time of the innings. It's quite crucial.
Yep. And he also has to realize that he's bowled 5 good balls. There's no need to release the pressure. Continue what you're doing.
Absolutely. It's finished strong. Oh.
That's a quicker one, which he's known for.
That was a great finish. 3 dot balls in a row to finish off the over. He'd be very pleased with that, and so will his captain.
So that's 16 overs gone, 94 for 2 Wicklow County, and Captain Gordon Clark has to find a new bowler, and he goes to, I think it's Brendan Farris who's coming to bowl at the death. So I think it'll be Bhushan and Brendan who try to finish at the death. I think they've also got Dan Murray, who's got 2 overs left. He's got a single over left under him. So he's finished off Joydeep, who's bowled for 4 overs, 15 runs. Justin has finished off. Naveen has finished off. So it'll be between Brendan, Bhushan, and Daniel. So I believe that Bhushan will bowl 1 more over, and Brendan and Dan will finish it off.
Now, this is what the Wicklow County do now. They're trying to hit the ball into the boundaries, but they just can't connect.
Yeah, they've built it well, to be honest. The opener, Rohan Riker, scored 32 of 28. Nicky Fusco was struggling a little bit. Prabjeet has carried on from where he left. And then Rohit Shirsat has scored 13 of 22. So right now, all Rohit needs to do is just give the strike to Singh, and then they will expect Singh to just finish the innings off.
It may be a bit late now because they're kind of set, but it's almost sometimes... Oh, that's a bit better. Hit it, but he's only going to get a single for it. Almost hit it too hard. You know, I know it's a bit of a radical solution, but sometimes I've often thought, you know, if you've only been in there for 6 balls, you've got 1 run, get yourself out and let the other batsman come in. Oh, that's a horrible ball.
Unfortunately, there's a bit of a loosener there, and it's
Cut away off the edge, and it runs down to, what do you call that, deep third man? Or
yeah, it's the 3rd time where the ball has run down, and Shirsat and Singh are experts in playing that gap.
Yeah.
And I believe that Captain Gordon Clark has to look at this gap and keep... Yep, that's the one which I was about to say. Get him on the edge, keep it finer, not squarer, because as soon as they open the blade, it's 4, and they can't stop it, so...
Well, that's right. There's no point having him
too
square, or even too fine, you know, in some ways, because they're not hitting it there. So they need to be, you know, careful.
I think it's been very sloppy on the field for Pembroke. They've sneaked in a single which ideally should have been stopped.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually, to be fair to Wicklow County, I think they just did enough to get a bit of pace on it, but didn't overhit it. Oh, that's an inside edge, and that's going to go for 4, I think. Yeah, just beat the fielder there. Gallant effort there from Subra, but...
it's 100 up for Wicklow.
Anyway, that's a good milestone. It's 100 in the triple figures, 104. They're actually got a bit of success in getting boundaries this over, which is what they need.
Yeah, it's already 10 of the over and 4 balls.
Yep, so it's a good challenge here for the bowler. It's a good comeback. Put it in a good length there that made the batsman, gave him doubt about whether to come forward or back. Resulted in a dot ball.
And also, Brendan has realized that there is no point bowling excess speed. He's just got his length, and that's the one which moved in. And the batsman sneak in a single. So it's 17 overs gone. Wicklow County 105 for 2. Building it very, very strongly in the middle part of the innings.
Yeah, I mean, look, Brendan has great variation and he can move the ball a lot.
Yep.
Unfortunately, those shots just split the field. I mean, that was great. It just split those 2 fielders in the deep there. Almost went right between them.
Yep.
And just enough pace that there was no way they're going to pull that back.
Yep. James, as a captain at this point of time, what are you going to tell your main bowlers? Just keep it simple, or do you try and tell them just go for the Yorker and try to get this guy out?
Well, I try to say we'll go for a wide Yorker, and then do some, do a sanctuary crusher Yorkers as well. Just cramp them up. And part of it's actually thinking about they're going to try and hit you down the cow corner. So I would stack the field, No, look, if you bowl in the wrong line and you bowl down leg, for instance, and they get it away, well, bad luck. That's a bad line. But, you're going to try and either, if you keep it tight like that, and they're going to go for the big shot. And some of them, they're going to connect and they're going to get some scores.
Yep.
But set traps, I'd have 4 guys in the deep, which they've kind of got now. I think they've got 3, but I'll probably even put 1 more there.
Yeah, I would actually remove. So there's a long on, a long off. There is a deep square leg, and there is someone just covering the mid-wicket boundary, and there's a fine leg.
They only have 3 inside this.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they have 4.
No, they have 4.
Yeah, there are 4.
But that's okay. But, at the end of the day, you can't beat just good line and length.
No.
And they'll get some of those away for runs, but more often than not, they probably won't. Or if it's going to only be singles instead of boundaries.
Or else what I would try and do is remove the guy off the deep point, and I'll put another guy on the leg side, and he'll come round the wicket and just bowl at his legs. Swing it from the leg side then. Finally a run out for Pembroke.
Ignored his captain there, thank goodness, and he realised he was way out, and he did the right thing. He didn't throw it hard. He just underarmed it at the stumps, gives him more accurate chance of getting out, and got the reward.
Yeah, and Captain Gordon Clark was mimicking Bhushan, saying that you actually threw underarm, and he was like, yeah.
The great relief there from the captain. The last thing he wanted was another
Overthrow and a single, yeah.
That's right, or even potentially going to the boundary. Yeah. But good, smart move there. Here you're going to watch the replay again. See, it was a difficult length to get away. It bounced up and he cranked him. Fielded well from his own bowling, kept his head.
Ethan, ask for the batter's name, please.
The batter just gave up. He knew he was nowhere near that.
Yeah, and also I think his pad flap came out, so he was never in position.
True, but that length, you just hope it misses, because that's the only way you're going to get into the crease, get home. Anyway, a good breakthrough there from Pembroke. That's going to make it harder for Wicklow County now to accelerate.
Now they would all rely on Singh to finish it off strongly. He's got 15 balls left.
Yep.
And he would be at least expecting to score 32 runs.
Well, if you've got a pinch hitter in the side, this is the time to put him in.
Yep. And Bhushan continues.
Srivastava, he's out there now. I know. Seem to continue. Oh, tried a big hit.
That's a good ball, and he actually cramped the batsman for space.
Oh.
And another overthrow.
No, just hold it. That's what I'd be saying to the captain.
Yep.
Don't get carried away here.
There's no point giving them extra runs when you know that the opposing batsmen are too quick between the wickets.
You already gave away one overthrow there, so let's not.
That's 4 for the day.
Yeah, exactly. So that 4 could be a big difference in the end. Just calm down, everyone. That's what I would be saying if I was the Pembroke captain. Oh, how's that? Given, yes.
That's a good appeal. And
that's a brilliant catch behind by Charlie.
And Bhushan strikes twice in his over, 1 run out and 1 catch. So captain's trust paying dividends.
Yeah, I'd love to see that replay again. That was an edge and low, flew to the keeper who got down very low and took it off. Look at this. Yep.
That's a good catch.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll do it, mate. No problem.
Thank you, James.
Wow. Well done, Charlie. And that's just what Pembroke needed. That will really lift their spirits in towards the end here. And Wicklow County, that's not the result they wanted. Not at all. So now they're going to have 2 brand new batsmen at the crease.
Batter's name.
Vishal. So the new batter's name is Vishal, and he's batting with Srivastava.
Both haven't faced the ball yet. Oh.
That's a good ball. That's on the money. Yorker, when you play your first ball, not the ideal ball. And Bhushan bowls his second over, concedes total of 9 runs and 1 wicket, and Wicklow County are 108 for 4 after 18 gone.
Well, not what Wicklow County wanted or needed. That's going to affect their run rate, you would think. However, you can see some fireworks sometimes. Maybe these guys are very good at hitting the ball. They see it, but so far, no indication of that. But, they've still got 6 wickets in the shed. There's 12 balls available. There's no point. He had a block there. He had a look. quite rightly, I don't think that was the ball to hit.
I think captain goes back to Dan Murray.
Yeah. From the other side now, from the nursery end.
Yeah, Dan has been a little erratic today with his line and length.
Yeah, just over trying, I think. You know, just.
I think he'll get better and better the
Well,
more
it's just
he
the
bowls.
exuberance of youth. You know, they're trying to put a bit more, you know, oomph into it and get a few more, you know, kilometres of pace out of it. Where sometimes it's, you know, just get accuracy. You can't beat it.
Absolutely. There's no price for accuracy.
So adjustments to the field being made now. Of course, the keeper goes back. We have a deep third man here. Oh, he's coming up. No, he's coming up to the ring, I think. We have a point. Yeah, back on the ring. Point. We have a deep square. We have a very deep long off. Or we have, looks like it's going to be a mid-on. A long on as well.
There's a fine leg.
We have
There's a fine leg.
a fine leg as well, that's right. And we have, who's that on the boundary down in Cow Corner? We have someone on the boundary down
Bhushan.
there.
That's Bhushan at the Cow Corner.
Yeah. So, obviously designed to stop any boundaries if they can. Just, they'd be happy to concede 12 singles here or less.
And Captain Gordon Clark moves himself to square leg.
Yeah, sort of floating between square leg and square leg and mid wicket. Oh, good pace there. He had another go at the cut shot there and missed it completely.
Absolutely. And I think it's been a trait for all the Wicklow batsmen. They want to cut each and every ball, and sometimes it's just not there for you.
Well, it's a tough shot to do, especially early on in your innings. You know,
It's not the most ideal way to get off the mark. The best way is to just get the ball on your bat, run.
well, especially when you only got 11 balls left now. I think you should. You know, you're going to have to probably
Swing.
vary your technique a bit and just swing even across the line. You just, you know, see that's dabbing under there. Get forward and have a big swing. At least if you edge it, okay, you might get caught here, and you know.
Or it might just run down for 4.
But you got to ride your luck. You got 6 wickets in the shed. You might as well.
Yeah.
Don't want to die wondering.
If you look at the replay, right, it's a good length ball, tried to cut, it was too late on the ball. The ball just passed the keeper.
Well, virtually no foot movement there. You know, just didn't get back or forward. See, he's hardly moved his feet at all.
No.
You know, just sort
And
of-
he's standing already way away from the leg stump.
Yeah.
So if you look at it, he's actually given his 3 stumps.
Yeah, probably better off actually taking a middle stump guard, and then you can just sort of whip it around on the leg side. Oh, there he got away from it. Finally got some contact,
Connect.
and it's
That's boundary.
yeah, that was
Much needed boundary for Wicklow County, and they've got 4 runs in first 3 balls. So Dan Murray has been pretty expensive today.
Yes. No, that was actually quite a good shot. You know, that's what he's been trying to do for the last 2 balls. He's just, when it's wide, just get enough on it just to run down. Yeah, I think that's it made their intentions clear. So I'd you know, thinking there'd a lot of protection down here. Because he's happy just to do that, just happy to dab and get something on it.
Yeah,
And-
absolutely. I think the fine leg here has been moved.
That's better. See, now he's got time to just concede.
Just
Pick it
a
up.
single. Yep.
That's a single.
5 of 4 balls, and in comes the new batsman on strike, Vishal Paul. So it's 18 overs and 4 balls gone, and 113 for 4 for Wicklow. They would be decently happy and yet disappointed, because the kind of attack what they had in the middle overs, they would have thought 150, 155 is still on the cards.
You enjoying being out in the sun now?
Yeah.
Come in under and stuff.
Yeah,
Got both of you now. Jimmy's been in a while.
that's good. Gets you warm.
Play and a miss. Wild swing yet again.
Yeah, he just played across the line. That no
Yep.
foot movement at all. Didn't see the ball at all. Good comeback there by Dan. I think you'd have to, if Wicklow, you'd be hoping you have a very a lot of luck with the ball today. I'm not sure if this is going to be enough unless there's an amazing last couple of 7 or 8 balls.
Cricket
But
is a funny game, James.
It
Very
is, isn't
funny.
it? Absolutely. But I think so far,
Play and a miss. So Dan Murray finishes his spell. He's considered 27 runs. Didn't get a wicket today, but more importantly, he's kept his side well under control. Just 5 off the over, so it's 19 gone, 113 for 4.
Yeah, I think he came back strong in that last over there. He finished well, created some dot balls, which is valuable at this stage of the innings, absolutely.
And Captain Gordon Clark goes back to Bhushan to finish and to come back for his third over. He's been pretty impressive in the second game. The first game didn't go according to his liking. So he's bowled 2 overs for 9 runs and just given 1 wicket. So Captain Gordon Clark trusts him to finish off the innings strongly.
Yeah, 1 wicket and a run out. That was he's done very well with the ball this innings, or this game, I should say. So, what would you'd hoping that you'd be conceding no more than 6 if you were Pembroke.
Yep.
Wicklow, they want 36.
Yeah, 101%. They would be like 15-20 of this over. The game is on.
Yeah.
If they keep them under 120,
Well, I
Pembroke
think-
have done a good job.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be an interesting. And look, he's still got 6 wickets in the shed, so you have to go for the big swing. Oh,
That's a good ball. Angled right into his leg, on his leg stump, just for a single. Captain Gordon Clark yells, keep the ball.
yeah, there was no room to really get underneath that and hit it away. I think just if you're a batsman now with 5 balls to go,
Just swing it.
big step forward and swing. Slow ball. Oh, consider the wide there. Bonus there for Wicklow County.
But it was a good intention from Bhushan. He realized that the batsmen are starting to pick up pace, so he just slowed the ball down.
Yeah, I'm not sure the batsman picked it actually. He didn't seem
No,
to.
he actually swung it before.
Yeah, so it was good. Yeah, badly executed, but good thinking. Half hard of the peel. They'll concede
Single.
just a leg by there. But still only 1 run.
So it's 3 balls and 2 runs, and that's excellent bowling by Bhushan. So 3 balls and 3 runs and excellent bowling by Bhushan. Actually, it's 1 run off the bat, 1 wide, and 1 leg by.
So 4 legal deliveries to come.
Wicklow would be hoping 24 or 4.
That's okay from a Pembroke point of view.
Yep.
He's turning blind, that batsman. He's not. Anyway, they'll be able to get 3. They've got to go for 3. You have to go. Good call in there by the Wicklow batsman.
And
Yeah,
they
he-
sneak in 3. And yet again, little sloppy on the field. Confusion for whether to throw or not.
More perfect place between
I think it was just great placement. Yeah, I really think that you've been a bit harsh there, Prashant. I think it was just good placement and good and didn't hit it too hard and gave them time.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Mm. But either way, it was only 3. That's another slow ball, and he's picked it up. And is he going to get caught? Good catch.
From Ethan. Good catch from Ethan.
No, that was actually Dan.
Sorry, that's Dan. Yeah.
Great catch there at the end. Bhushan picks up another wicket, which will be delighted for him. Another dot ball for Wicklow County. Great safe hands.
It was slightly difficult. It was between both Ethan and Dan called for it.
No, it's good calling, and he looked pretty confident he was going to get that.
Yep. So Bhushan has actually come back well. So he's actually bowled 2 overs and 4 balls, gave away 14 runs and just measly 14 runs and just picked up 2 important wickets.
Yeah, he's been very economical, hasn't he? He's
Yep.
been very impressive there.
This might be Richard.
Here comes a replay. No, yeah,
We take bets?
just popped it up enough.
Yep.
Comfortable down on his knees, took it on his chest.
You guys are so
Looked very, very relaxed there. His captain's delighted,
sick. God.
as you would. And the new man batsman out there at the moment. He's only got 2 balls to face. But what can he do? Again, I think getting past 120 would be
That's easy. No, just 1 run for 120.
is what Wicklow need. At least have 1 run a ball you've got to chase.
Yeah.
It gives the bowlers something to bowl against.
Yeah.
130.
Oh yeah, but that's what they'd hope. But they'd hope that 2 sixes from this new batsman. But big ask. Yeah.
Swing and a miss. wild swing, wild miss.
He's trying to. He sort of almost checked his shot there. He didn't really follow through with the bat at all. But so now down to the last legal delivery so far. Finish strong. That's what the captain would say. And can the batsman end with a boundary?
Absolutely.
That's
That's
right, he's
nicely
saying.
connected.
I think he's
and
going to. Yep.
4.
So he'll be.
That's 4 of the last ball, which spoils the over a little bit, but Bhushan will be happy that he's finished bowling 3 overs, conceded 18 runs, 2 wickets, so
I think
20 gone. 123 for 5 is what Wicklow County finish, and it's 124 to win for Pembroke.
Yeah, that's the batsman's done everything he can for his team there. He's got 4 valuable runs at the end. They've got, yes, just slightly over run, fractionally over 1 run per ball. It's something that they can defend if they bowl really, really well.
Here we watch this. Just
And-
dabbed it, just picked the gap. Very fast outfield. There's no way that ball was going to get dragged back.
And small update from the commentary panel. I think Craig got this one right. He said 125, and 125 it is to win for Pembroke. 124 it is for Pembroke to win.
Anyway, folks, we're going to have a quick break while there's a changeover in teams. We'll be back in about 10 minutes' time. So we'll leave you with it for now.
Do you want to meet Ashley and Candy?
Yeah, good, thanks, man.
So you 2 lead us off as well?
Well, I'm going to go get the punting.
Good evening, everyone. We are back for Pembroke's Chase versus Wicklow County. Pembroke need 124 of 20 overs, and it's Brendan Ferris and Ethan Clark who would start the proceedings for us. Pembroke need just over 6 runs, just over 7 runs actually, 6 runs.
Yeah, just over 6, yeah.
Yeah, just over 6 runs to chase the target, and for Wicklow it will be Jobin who would start the proceedings. Joining with me today is James Creswell. James, what do you think is important for Wicklow? Should they look to contain runs or should they just look to take wickets?
Hi, Prashanth. It's good to be back. That's a very good question. I think for Wicklow County to have any real chance of winning this match, they need to take wickets. So I think they have to be aggressive in their field placings. I think their bowlers have to bowl very, very good lines and lengths. I think anything short of that, and I think it's going to be very easy for Pembroke just to sort of work singles around, take the odd boundary when they need to. There's going to be some overs where they won't score very much potentially. But when you only need to virtually get a run a ball, there's not a lot of pressure on you as a batting side. They have a depth of batting in Pembroke that's very deep, so pretty much down to a number 11. So the pressure is really going to be on Wicklow County to take quick wickets in the first couple of overs. They'd be delighted after 5 if they had 3 wickets down, with not very much on the board. So I think we're in for a really good contest here.
Absolutely. I think it's a nicely poised match. The low-scoring games are the one which is more challenging.
Here we go. Oh, that's an interesting action.
That's a good ball, actually. He swung it wide out, and Brendan was playing for the back foot punch, but unfortunately couldn't connect.
And just like to say that Andy Balbirnie, the Irish captain's here today, enjoying the sun on the wall, and just returns from his stint of captaining the Irish team in Lords. Oh, that's it. Oh,
Just over mid-off, and it runs for a 4. Does it? Yes, it does.
good effort there by the Wicklow County fielder. Lucky he didn't injure himself, actually. He almost stood on the ball as it went over the line, but he put in a gallant effort. Just inches above his hand as he tried to get it. He was in a great position, and Brendan Ferris survives. It was a nice little chip, but it could have gone either way. So he got away with that. Brings the first runs onto the board for Pembroke. Oh, way too short then.
And rightly called as a wide.
And they're going to run. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
6 of the over.
Here's a replay.
Yep.
Just missed him. He was very unlucky not to get a finger on that.
And it was too quick for him. He couldn't have judged it back and caught it. So
No. Anyway, good cricket all round. A good, exciting start.
that's the one which you were speaking about. Almost slipped on the ball.
Yeah, it's...
Never a nice sight to see someone.
well, there's got to be a bit of common sense sometimes about, it's gone, it's gone. Don't kill yourself, There's putting their body on the line and then it's been suicidal. Anyway. No, there's never going to be a...
Yeah, it was his bottom edge of the bat and then flicked it away for a single.
completely going down leg side
Umpire's
line
given
there.
leg by, I
Yeah,
thought
he hit it with his pad, thigh pad, I think, that was going so far down leg. But anyway, at least I know what the umpire's restrictions are, what he's going to call and what he's not. He's not going to give an LBW for that sort of line. Field resets.
And the bowler changes his angle.
No, there wasn't anything there. He's getting a bit of bounce there. He's bowling it quite short and getting a bit of lift. Makes it difficult for the batsman to
And
get
also, and also, I really like his run-up. It's a short, quick burst of pace, and he just bounces it and he angles it inside for the batsman.
He's got a bit of pace as well.
Yep.
Good bowling.
That's a good ball and well watched out by Brendan. He's realized that he's got 6-7 of the over. There's no need to take unnecessary risk. Just watch and play the ball on the merit.
Yep. Exactly. Just play this like you would play any other league game.
Yeah, Brendan Ferris has been in prolific form for Pembroke this year. Scored 100 couple of weeks back and then another 50.
Yeah, he's a very class batsman and he's in good form. So happy there. Just the defender that away as well. 7 off the over.
It's
No.
one gone. 7 runs, no wicket, and we are up and running.
I think both teams can take heart here. It was a good start from the batsman. There's no panic. But also, it was good bowling. It was chipped up in the air, and there was a potential opportunity for an early wicket there for Wicklow County. So, yeah,
Good cricket all round, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams just need to keep their heads. It was
Yep. You
He's
always
obs-
like to see good cricket rather than just the bat dominate the ball or the ball dominate the bat.
absolutely good contests. Always lots more fun. Anyway, what sort of field have we got here for the next bowler? We have just resetting their field at the moment. So far, we seem to have a sort of a deepish mid-on. Looks like we're going to have a mid-off, or is he going to go into the covers? We've got a long, a deep mid-off.
Yep. We've
We've got a cover as well.
and we've got deep point and a third man, which is very, very fine.
Yeah, very on the rope there. We've got a wicketkeeper and a first slip, I'd say, or is it going to be
Yep,
probably
first
a first or second slip?
And then we have a fine leg and a third man together.
Yes, and square leg, and then someone mid wicket. So you know, the bowler comes in. Well played there by Ethan. Get off the mark. Just a nice little drive out there onto the offside.
And to be fair, it's a good ball. He was right on the money, just outside the off stump. Not over pitch, not short. It's a
No,
good ball.
it'd be very.
The twos need 17 off 19 overs.
Had word there that Pembroke 2's in their game, which I can't recall who they're playing, but they've.
Harley senior two.
Oh yeah, sorry, not Harley first again versus Pembroke seconds. They need 19 off 17 overs. So unless something, and they've got 6 wickets in hand. So unless something dramatically happens there, you'd have to say the smart money's on Pembroke 2's to win, and it'd be a great win for that team.
Bridge has bowled 2 perfect balls and he's going back to his mark, charging to bowl a ball to Brendan Ferris.
Yeah. Oh,
That's hit hard and well fielded at
yeah.
short cover.
He bowled that one as almost like a half track, and Brendan was quick to get onto it and smacked it straight to cover. There's a cover fieldsman there who did incredibly well to stop that. Kind of stung him a bit there. I think he got a bit on his wrist. But anyway, he stopped 4 runs. Interesting run-up this bowler's got. It seems to be short steps, but he's handy enough, quick enough.
Yeah, and also he's been hitting the right line and length. If you look at this ball, he's got way too much swing. And well collected by the keeper. It was not bowling down the leg. So, and he set up a proper field for it. So he knows that if he gets his line little wrong, it's 4 runs for Brendan.
Yeah, no, it's good that he's actually, he does seem to be bowling a good tight line there. So, I have to give him a lot of respect. Oh no, just drifted down there. Again, probably just trying too much, trying to get some variation happening. I think the length wasn't too bad. It's just that the line was wrong.
I think both batsmen shouldn't feel the pressure. It's 4 dot balls. I think they should realize and respect the bowler, and there's no point slogging him or just taking him on now. And just as we said, Brendan swings across the line, but I think was too much far on the leg side.
Yeah, I don't think he thought that was very risky. I thought he could nip off his legs, and see, here he goes.
Yep.
Drifting a bit down leg there. Wasn't ever going to hit the stumps, but wasn't miles off. But the good thing about Brendan is he has a lot of experience, and so he doesn't get phased by a few maidens here or there or those scoring games.
So it's 2 overs gone. Pembroke 8 for no loss, chasing 124.
No, he didn't signal like I, so he must have hit it.
Maybe he might have got a bit of inside edge there. It's difficult to say. But anyway, there was just a bit of debate there whether that should have been a leg by or whether or whatever. But I mean, Brendan must have got a bit of wood on that. Anyway, 3rd over to start.
Well called by Brendan. So Jobin continues his second over. He's been brilliant in his first over. And he comes round the wicket for Brendan and angling in towards his middle stump, not giving him much room.
Yeah, no, he's bowling well.
Yep.
It's a good line. A good test for the batsman here. Oh, that's beautifully played. That's going to be 4. That's 6, actually. Yeah, that's a 6.
That's beautifully flicked off his pads, and Brendan actually showing his class. Slightly drifted to his leg and just flicked it off for a beautiful 6. First 6 of the day for Pembroke.
Yeah, just used the pace of the ball there, really, and just helped it along its way. Didn't actually, go to a decent old swing, of course, but excellent timing. That's a shot of a man in form. And all of a sudden, the pressure that he may have felt, if any, would be relieved. He's back up to 11 off 12, which is, very handy. He's that class player that can show the patience, and then look at that. Just
Now that's a shot of a man in form.
2 sixes in a row now. Been very patient, just waiting for the loose balls. The keeper's coming up to have a word to the bowler.
Yeah, I think Jobin has slightly missed his length. The line is right, but the length is too short. And for someone like Brendan, you can't miss half an inch. He'll
Well,
punish you.
Yeah, exactly. If you've got an informed batsman and you put it in their zone, especially like a half tracker, what do you call it?
Over pitch delivery.
Half volley. Thank you very much. Yeah, just brain fade then. A half volley. Yeah, it's going to get punished somewhere. Oh, got forward. That's great. Just works it around on the square on the leg side. Just gets a 1. You'd be happy with that.
Yeah, that's 13 from 4 balls. And Ben Ferris has actually upped the ante for Pembroke. And Pembroke are looking really, really good. So that's 2 overs and 4 balls and 22 for no wicket in response to chasing 124.
Yeah, he's showing he's not prepared to... He's prepared to play his natural game, and he's going to play his shots. Ethan just having a bit of a dab outside the off stump there. Didn't really move his feet.
Yeah, that's a quick one from the bowler. I think it's a good comeback from the bowler as well. After considering 2 sixes, it's never easy.
No, and I think he'd be happy to be bowling to a new batsman who hasn't seen much of the ball. This is only he's only seen 3 balls so far. So good testing now for Ethan Clark. That's a lovely shot.
And actually, football stopped by the fielder at cover, so and they run for a single. So Jobin's second over has been expensive. It's 14 runs in 6 balls. So after 3 overs, Pembroke are 23 for no wicket in response to chasing 124. That's a replay of Brendan's first 6 off his pad and just flicked it off beautifully.
Wow, that was a good shot. That was 94 metres. I've been reliably informed. That's quite a big hit.
Yeah, the second one
So
was...
this one was 94. That was 94 metres. I stand corrected. Yep. Yeah, straight one. Okay, you have to be a bit more... Anyway, big hits. So, Wicklow County who are getting a bit loose there. I don't think the bowling was too bad, but it just wasn't... it's just too much variance in the line and length, or not enough maybe. Just half volleys are not good with a batsman in form. So the bowling continues with Mr. Bridge. This time to Ethan Clark. Lovely shot. Just waited for that one to come onto the bat. Just happy to take the single. Sounded great. He must have just lovely middle. Great timing of the ball. Anyway, that's all they need to do is just keep rotating that strike and look for the loose ball. And it may not be the most exciting cricket, but it'll be very effective. And I'd like to just welcome Craig Senior now to the commentary box. For how many times is this today? For the first time in this game, or this innings, actually. Well watched there by Brendan.
There's no doubt that Brendan Ferris has taken the majority of the strikes so far here. He's faced 15 balls. Ethan Clark just the 5. But Brendan going along in a better run of ball, and that's what Pembroke need for this. 1-2-4 is the target.
Oh, lovely. Too short. Just work it around on the leg side. Behind square. Picks up 2. No, I've been impressed with Ethan. He's not getting phased. He's doing what he needs to do as a supporting partner for the batsman who's in form. Just getting off strike.
Well, Ferris, he scored 25 in the first game today and certainly helped put down a solid base that Pembroke went on from, and they ended up with 169 on that occasion. They don't need that many this time. They're chasing 124.
Bit of an inside edge there. Wasn't where Brendan wanted to go, but didn't. At the end, it just resulted in a dot ball, but no danger to his actual wicket.
Richard Bridge, the bowler, ex of Pembroke Railway Union, now with Wicklow County.
Oh, faster ball there, but just lost a bit of control. But it was.
Well, that was it, wasn't it? Tried to push it through. It went down the leg side, but it caught Ferris. No chance of it being called a wide. Pembroke now needing just over a runner ball.
It's actually bowled quite well, Bridge. It's been difficult to get away.
Well, he hasn't gone for many, that's for sure. That's 6 from 2 overs. He'll be pleased with that, as would his captain. That's the sort of bowling he needs. It's the loose bowling at the other end that is costing Wicklow County at this stage.
Yeah, I'm being impressed by Bridge. I think he's doing really well for T20 for his defending the low score. Keeping it very tight. Virtually no width. Just conceding the odd 2 and singles. Doing everything. He's been very economical. Unlucky, no wickets yet from his point of view, but it looks like a change of bowler.
Communication between scorer and umpire. Kant is the bowler from the St John's end now. Sun's starting to stream through our gazebo cover. Wishing that a time of the evening. Captain having a strong word with the bowler. They're taking their time setting this field. Well, where do they have their men out? Well, behind square on the leg side. And for Ferris, that's probably very wise. Man down at third man on the fence. And 1 at mid-wicket. 3 outside the circle. Wicklow County appear to be. A long leg there as well, actually. So 2 behind square on the leg side. Straight away, Ferris looking to drive on the offside. It was out there to be hit. It's a 5-4 field. I suppose it's the sort of field you set when you're not entirely sure that your bowler is going to bowl to a plan.
Yeah, and it's a huge gap for a single or 2 on the leg side. No ball, and it's punished. Heard the call early. It was a sort of pitched up, delightful spot for the batsman, especially one in form, and he just cracked it away on the offside there, straight to the boundary. 5 to the total for Pembroke.
Well, that's a super shot by Ferris. It takes him on to 25. That's matching his score from this morning. He's scored 50 runs today. Well, I don't think he'll be counting it as a 50, though.
Yeah, that would make him feel good. I like the way he just plays his natural game. Doesn't get phased. He knows that he can make up the difference if he gets tied down a bit.
This one's wide and driven straight back past the bowler. Mid-off on the ring. Well, he saved the boundary. In fact, he saved 3 runs there. But Ferris was looking to get after him. He's gone for 6 off the first 2.
Yeah, and a Pembroke captain will be delighted with this start. I mean, talk about taking the pressure off. So, Wicklow County need to really, really bowl good lines here. Stick to their plan if they have one. Oh, that's a better response.
Super delivery. That one seemed to leap off a good length and went over the attempted shot of Ethan Clark. Shadows starting to lengthen now here in Sydney Parade. We're reaching that stage of the evening. Of course, we're in the month of the longest day.
It's a beautiful evening out there. Good evening for cricket.
It's another no ball. Keeper takes it. No ball again. No free hits at this level. And the umpire now going forward to show the bowler just where his foot is over that line.
Must have been very wide delivery because the batsman had to really stretch to try and get onto that. So if there wasn't a no ball, there's a good chance that might have been called a wide.
I think you're absolutely right. And it was well outside the reach of Clark.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot.
Lovely shot for no run. Found the fielder. 2 balls remaining in this over. There have been a couple of no balls.
Important that Ethan Clark doesn't sort of get too frustrated here. You know, he's doing a good job just making sure his batting partner's on strike as much as possible. Nice single there.
Good backing up by Wicklow County. They saw the throw was coming in and they made sure they backed up that throw. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Yep. We won't go there. Don't mention the war.
So Brendan Ferris on strike now. The score has moved on to 36 for no wicket, and this will be the final ball of this over.
Oh, played well. Navigated straight back to the bowler. Anyway, after 5 overs, sorry, it's 35 for the loss of no wicket. Good start from Pembroke. They'd be delighted with this. Both batsmen seem to be quite set and don't seem to be troubled by this bowling too much. What would Wicklow County need to do now?
Well, it looks like, will there be a change of bowling again? There will. Or is Richard Bridge going to continue? I think I'd let Richard Bridge bowl through.
I would too.
He's only going for 3 and over. And if you need to build some scoreboard pressure, then that's the sort of figures you want.
Oh, absolutely. He's doing everything that his captain needs from a bowler. If you're not going to get the wicket straight away, just build the pressure. Only 123 to defend. He's doing his job well. They're making adjustments to the field. For Ethan, they're bringing up, looks like a deep point up into point.
Less fielders outside the ring, certainly short for Richard Bridge and Ethan Clark. That one goes across Ethan, thuds into the keeper's gloves, dot ball.
Bit of frustration there from the batsman. Sort of thinks he should have got onto that and worked that around on the leg side, but not to be. Good contest for the young man. Getting some encouragement from his teammates and to just stay patient.
Well, he doesn't let go of that one. And the umpire signals dead ball. I don't know what it was. Was it the train going past? Was it the batsman moving? Or was his run up wrong? Either way, aborted.
Yep, did the right thing. Pulled out of it if you're not comfortable, or take that Velcro off your hand.
Yes.
Either way.
Bridge comes in again.
Well played. Oh, nice quick single there. That's great. Great running. Quick call in. No hesitation.
And his partner trusting him entirely. Came through for the single. Clark moves on to 4. And once again, he's done the right thing. He's getting Brendan Ferris back on strike. He's on 26 off 23. Why not just give him as much of the strike as you can?
Well, that's it, isn't it? If doesn't matter what game you're playing and what batting pair you are, if the one batsman is seeing it better and hitting it well, you're then now the supporting batsman.
Defer to your partner, isn't it?
Absolutely. Your reward will come if you stay in. So,
one run has come so far from this over. 3 balls bowled.
Yeah, I'm impressed. He's doing a great job for his team. Oh, great length there. unlucky that the fielder didn't stop that. I don't
Well,
think there was anything wrong with that ball. I just think that
It's a very good ball, but it's matched by an equally good shot from Brendan Ferris, and he punched it away down towards the Wheelfield Road gate. He's moved on to 30. The score has moved on to 40.
And it was a beautiful shot. Look at that.
He just adjusted his stance. He knew where he was going to put it, and he did. Clipped it away. Super shot running down that hill.
And no risk there of being caught or anything. It was rattled on the carpet there. Class shot.
Well, Richard Bridge has now gone for 11. However, just 2 balls left in this, his third over. He's still bowling superbly well, and as James said, very little wrong with that ball. It was just met by an equally good shot.
You know what I'd do?
This time Ferris just drops it onto the leg side. Clark leaning on his bat. Very quick with the no.
I would take out that slip. I don't think that bowling the right line to trouble the batsman to get an edge. I think if you do, okay, it happens. But I think you'd be more useful in a situation there to stop a single. Try to force them to go more over the top.
I'd drop him back to short third, and that would allow the man who's down here at long third to be deployed somewhere else.
Oh, batsman, bowler lost his footing there. Tried to put a bit of extra, I think, grunt into that and just lost his balance.
That brought it down the leg side, and it's over up. So Richard Bridge now, 3 overs gone. He's just conceded 11, and Pembroke have moved on to 40.
Hard to see sometimes, isn't it? Is it 6 down? Or?
6 done. So we'll bid James a short farewell. We'll see you again in 3 overs, James.
Adios.
Prasant will join me in the box now at what's becoming a very interesting time, and it's a good opening stand from this Pembroke pair. All an umpire in discussion. I wonder if they're talking about those no balls from the last over. Ferris to face. No, Ethan Clark facing. Live scoring hasn't quite caught up with live action.
Play and a miss.
But again, you can see Ethan's intent. He's looking just to get off strike and to put Brendan Ferris back on strike.
Yeah, that's the most sensible thing to do because Brendan is seeing the ball as if it's a big football and he's just stonking it for fun. 30 runs of 27 runs and a score of 40. It's played with soft hands and they call for a quick single. Slight fumble.
Fielder's fumble lets them get through for that single. And that's exactly what Ethan Clark was looking for. He just wanted to get down to the non-striker's end and to watch the batting delight that can be Brendan Ferris.
The bowler Sashikant has bowled it erratically. After his first over, he's come back well. Went for 8 runs in his first over, and now he's bowled 2 balls, considered just a single.
Well, that first over did contain those no balls.
That's a good comeback by the bowler yet again.
He's doing very well this over. He'll be far more pleased with his bowling this over. But then again, let's see now. Run rate required. Still only 6.1. Run a ball from here for 10 overs. We'll certainly see Pembroke getting very close. You get the feeling Wicklow County really need to break this partnership.
I think it's also very sensible batting from these two gentlemen because they realize that the boundaries are incoming, so they quickly are turning 0s to 1s and 1s to 2s. And sometimes all you need is just to keep the scoreboard ticking and it'll automatically take care of your chase.
Well, there's 13.2 overs remaining. Plenty of time. The total they're chasing isn't the biggest we've seen here today.
It's well played by Ethan.
Well, that's what we like to see. He's playing each ball on its merits. He's not desperate to get down to the other end. He wants to work his way down there, but if it's on the stumps and it's going to cause him problems, Just play it away.
Absolutely, and I think Pembroke have got 10 wickets in hand. There is no need to try anything unusual right now.
Well, there's the no ball problem again. Another one, and it lets Clark take the single, and it means that Ferris will face the next delivery.
This is the third no ball Sashikant has bowled in 2 overs, and he doesn't have the fastest or the biggest run up, but 3 no balls in T20.
It's certainly not helping his side, is it?
Yeah, especially when you have to just chase 124, you need your bowlers to be accurate on the money. No extras as much as possible.
This one slides across the batsman. It's a dot ball. That's the end of the over. 7 gone. The score has moved on to 44 for no wicket. Brendan Ferris still above a runner ball. He's on 31 off 30. And Ethan Clark, he's on 7, providing a great supporting role for Brendan Ferris.
So Pembroke need 80 runs from 78 balls. So not the biggest ask in the world. But these two have put on a brilliant partnership, so they would want to see it through and not lose any wickets. I'm sure their teammates will be pretty happy if they get to 124 without a loss of any wicket.
Well, if they do that, perhaps it will make the captain forget all those misfields and overthrows in the first innings if they win by 10 wickets. However, Richard Bridge is going to have something to say about that. He's going to finish out his spell now from the nursery end. He's bowled exceptionally well. If memory serves, he's only gone for 11 off his first 3 overs. Slight adjustments in the field. There's 5 on the offside, 4 on the leg side. Where is Clark going to look to score? It's short. He's clubbed it away on the offside. The fielder won't get to it. It falls at the captain's feet. And they look to get 2 from the shot. Well, perhaps Ethan actually feeling a bit of pressure to having only scored 7 from 15 deliveries. He's now on to 9 off 16. Perhaps he'll feel a bit better.
I think so. I think Ethan has been looking to swing and hasn't connected well. This was short in his radar to just slash it. He did slash, but wasn't hard enough. Skied the ball. The cover fielder couldn't reach it. Run quickly for 2. I think that should release some pressure, but he needs to be more careful of not playing on the air too much. He's got a decent start, and he's doing his right job of playing the second fiddle to Brendan Ferris.
Well, he's already prompted a change in the Wicklow field on the offside. Oh, that's now a much better shot. He's clipped that away beautifully. Late cut down towards the boundary at the nets here.
Now that would do him a world of good. He's been looking for that boundary from his first over. Had a beautiful drive saved, but that 4.
Well, that brings up the 50 for Pembroke in their chase. They still require another 74 to win, but they do have 12.4 overs to get it. And for the mathematicians out there with Michael Clark, one can say that 5.84, well, it's gone under a runner ball just because of that shot. Here it is again. You can see how late he left it and slashed it away through what would have been the slip region. And it runs away without being impeded to the boundary. 4 more onto the total. 50 up for Pembroke.
It's 50 for the partnership as well.
Absolutely. 6 extras in that 50 partnership. Well, that's come off the middle of the bat for me.
And
Clark safely makes it down to the other end. The batsman also insinuating that that one came off the middle of the bat. It was an interesting appeal.
I think he was well in position for the flick, and he did get the flick. So probably it would have been the bat which would have hit the pad. Probably they were appealing for just to get him off his balance.
Anything, really.
Yep. They're desperate for a wicket, and that shows in the appeal.
Well, Clark did the right thing. He got down the non-striker's end. He's now moved on to 14 off 19. He's rapidly catching up to a runner ball. Ferris already there. Ferris to face Bridge now. Just comes forward to a very good ball. That's good line and length from Richard Bridge.
He's been the most impressive bowler as of today from both the innings. And Richard Bridge has not aired in his line or length a little too much. He should have had a wicket, but cricket is a cruel sport. you always don't get what you deserve.
Absolutely not. Number of times you see a bowler beating the edge of a bat and ending up with no wickets in the end of the day.
That was nicely tossed up. A little slow one. Brendan flicks it across mid-wicket for just a single.
Well, the slower ball wasn't really telegraphed, but he certainly sent an advance warning of it, and Ferris was alive to it and just punched it away on the leg side. He takes the single, he takes the strike, and the score has moved on to 52.
For no wicket.
For no wicket from 8.
Yep. And Richard Bridge has bowled his full 4 overs and just conceded 19 runs. That's gold in T20. Less than run a ball.
Absolutely spot on. Super bowling from Richard Bridge. He now trudges off down to third man. His job done. He just hopes that his teammates can be just as miserly with the ball. It might put some pressure on the Pembroke side. But at the moment, they haven't looked like taking a wicket.
No, their bowling has looked a little bit without an edge. It's not containing runs. It's silly extras. Talking of extras, Sashikant back. That's a good ball.
And that's the over up. Oh, no, that's the first ball of the
Yeah,
over.
that's
The
a new bowler,
umpire-
Sashikant.
The umpire there just checking the footmarks. He has had no ball trouble. We think 3 already?
4.
4.
4 in 2 overs.
Hey, Bill. Well, 4 in 2 overs. That's more than anybody should be bowling. And those no balls have cost him. One of them was punished for a 4.
From Brendan.
So, in effect, he could have figures of 0 for 4 off 2 overs if it wasn't for his foot trouble.
Yep.
Well, that's gone in the air a long way, and that's going to race away to the boundary. It clears the fielder in the ring. 4 more to Ferris, 4 more onto the total, and Ferris now, well, you get the feeling he's put his foot on the accelerator.
Yes, I think he's had enough looking at the ball and he thinks this should be done within 10 to 12 overs now. So even if they needed 68 of 11 overs, they would be thinking, let's finish it in the next 6 overs.
Well, they're looking for all the runs they can as we reach the climax, the end of what has been a fascinating weekend's cricket in Pembroke. Yesterday we saw the 3s. And Ferris has gone very high this time. The fielder isn't steady underneath it, but he does take the catch, and they're delighted with that. Nicky Fusco with the safe hands, and that's the end of Ferris. He perishes for 36. 61 runs for him today.
So it's a much-deserved wicket for Wicklow. And Brendan actually was looking to increase the run rate, but unfortunately couldn't get it. And I think it's a new man who's walking in. I think it is Sahil.
Sahil, indeed. He got runs as well in the first game this morning.
41 runs.
And Brendan Ferris departs the field. His day's work done. 61 runs today for Brendan Ferris.
And that's a replay.
And he collects his bag.
That's a
and
boundary,
heads back.
which Brendan hit.
You could see he was trying to repeat the big shot.
And this is the one which was right under his radar. Swung it well, but didn't time it enough. And the fielder wasn't steady underneath it, but he did make it look like an easy catch. But it's never easy under the sun.
No, it's right out coming out of the sun there for Nicky Fusco. That's a fine catch. Nicky, another player who's made appearances in Pembroke, hasn't done so for many years, but a fine cricketer. So the new batsman, Sahil Manchanda, 4th captain last couple of years, and now relieved of that burden. He can concentrate on his batting.
It's a good ball and well played by Sahil. He realizes that Brendan has done his job. There is no point trying any more risks. It's just wait and watch game now. They just need 68 runs from almost 68 balls.
Well, Sahil turns on that one quickly, punches it out to the leg side boundary. The fielder does get there. They just take the single.
That's a good call by Ethan, and he quickly said no for the second while Sahil was almost ready to take off.
Well, on Saturday we saw Ethan and Sahil batting, and Sunday the two of them were batting, And Ethan,
Miscommunication is the word.
miscommunication, ended up run out. He won't want a repeat of that now. That one's wide. The umpire signals it as such.
So Sashikant's troubles with extras continue. It was a no ball in the previous over, and it's a wide in this over.
Well, he's also picked up a wicket. And that's what Wicklow really need at this stage. The only way to slow this scoring rate. Pembroke needing less than a run a ball at the moment. Not much less, but
And
another no ball, and it's driven down the field. The fielder is there. It will just be a single off the no ball, but it does bring Sahil on strike.
It's a fifth no ball. It's something which Sashikant has to address. You don't want to see too many extras, especially when you're just defending 124. You would want each and every ball to make it count and make the batsmen throw their wickets away rather than gifting them runs. That's a much better comeback from Sashikant.
Yes, he's bowled much better there. That gets him out of the over. 6 balls, legitimate balls completed. Umpire and bowler still consulting over just how far that foot is going.
An umpire is actually making note of it.
Now, there will be a change of bowling at the nursery end. Richard Bridge, he finished his spell, 0 for 19, I seem to remember.
Yes, absolutely, and I think there'll be a new bowler who'd come back. It'll be interesting to see if the captain decides to bring his main bowler who bowled the first over, or will it be a new bowler? And I think it's the captain who's decided to bowl himself. And we have a small update from Pembroke 2's games versus Noakhali. Pembroke 2 won by 5 wickets, and they were chasing 167 in 50 over game, and they won with 5 wickets in hand.
Good win for Joe Prendergast in the seconds. Another victory for the club. The firsts, of course, had 2 massive victories against Cork County this weekend. JJ Garth, obviously the star of the weekend, 156 down in Cork on Sunday, following the 136 he scored here in Pembroke, and the invoice for the broken window. Oh, that one's gone wide. It's gone all the way.
No, there's a fielder.
Fielder picks it up. Just 2 more onto the total. Score moves on to 62. And with 9 overs gone, we'll invite back into the commentary box James Cresswell. But before that, Prasad with his views on how it's gone so far.
So far, it's been Pembroke's game. They've batted brilliantly well. And that's another wide by the captain. So extras continue to come, and it's looking very easy for Pembroke. Wicklow County have been very poor with the ball. They have not made Pembroke work hard for their runs at all.
No, you're right. There's 4 wides there in 2 balls. I mean, when you're defending 123, my goodness,
That's criminal.
Well, how many extras have there been?
I think there'll be 9 because Sashikant bowled 3 no balls, 2 wides, and there's 4.
Actually, it's
That's a much better ball and well driven by Ethan.
Yeah, he's looking good now. They need to take this seriously and don't lose their head and, don't start, going too rash. But at the moment, they seem to be just happy to keep going the way they're going, which is, to me, the best plan.
Yep, and you don't need like 100 runs in 10 overs. You just need 60 runs from 65 balls.
Well, if they bat the overs, they'll win.
Yep.
That's what it comes down to.
That's a quicker one thrown on the leg side and wide yet again, and the batsman steal in a single. So he's given 6 runs this over for the batsman without making them work hard.
Well, essentially with the amount of no balls and wides, that's 10% of the total.
Yep.
At least. That is quite criminal, and they've got to really have a look at their game plan when they go back and do something about that in their training, because you
don't want to give so many extras.
Well, you can't win games if you bowl like that. That's what it comes down to, in my opinion. Anyway, he comes in again. That's a better line.
better line, better ball.
But
and-
worked on the offside there just for the single, but they're happy to rotate the strike, which is sensible batting.
Yes, absolutely. And if you think about it, Pembroke don't need to do anything super aggressive or anything extraordinary. It's less than run a ball, which is what is required for Pembroke.
Yeah, and there's 7 runs off the over already. So let's
Wait
keep
and
it-
watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't change the plan. That's a better ball. Went through everyone.
And yet
Thank you.
again, another single. No,
Now, that was a good ball. That was the first really good ball that's would have frightened the batsman, I suppose. Didn't know what to do with that.
yeah, I'm just wondering, is the keeper not able to see the ball or is it too far out from him?
I just think it was a good ball that probably moved and just bamboozled everyone.
Yeah, but
But
I
the
was...
keeper should have got that.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna will we get a replay of that?
No, give him buys.
Give him buys, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the bowler comes in again. No, inside edge onto that.
That's a much better ball. If he bowls in full from that angle what he's trying to bowl, it will be very difficult for Sahil to keep driving because if he nicks it, it's straight to the keeper or to the fielder at point, which is very strategically placed.
But I think we've said this probably about a dozen times today, is the fact that despite a good line and length,
Yep.
and the batsman takes all the risk. Those last 2 balls have been great, and then he sprays one down the leg side. He's got to, when he bowls a good ball, it's fantastic. But unfortunately, it's you can't win a match if you're bowling, 2 good balls out of what 9?
Absolutely. It reminds me of the game which we
8?
covered, which is Pembroke versus Phoenix the other day, where there was a beautiful leg spinner who kept throwing the ball on the leg side. And we were just talking about the same thing. You can't throw the ball for wides all the time. And if you can bowl 2 good balls, you need to follow it up with 4 good balls as well. That's a little difficult for the keeper, but he manages to collect it. The captain has still not got his line right, but he finishes off his over. He's given 7 runs off that over. Pembroke
No,
need
8.
8 runs. So Pembroke need 56 off 60 balls with 9 wickets in hand. It's Sahil and Ethan who are batting. So it'll be interesting to see, will it be Sashikant who would come and bowl for his 4th over, or will it be a new bowler? And it's Sashikant.
Well, it's an opportunity here for the bowler to finish strong, to make up for all the no balls and
Redeem
incorrect
himself,
line. Yep.
basically.
They're halfway through the overs now, 68 for 1 on the board. Pembroke are cruising. They've got to do something, whether it's put in the more aggressive field and try to make them go over the top by just cutting off singles, or I think the first thing to do, as we keep saying, is just get your line right.
Yeah.
Line and length right, and then it doesn't matter what field you set, if you're not bowling to it, what's the point?
Yeah, that's a better line and that's a better ball for Sashikant. He set 4 fielders on the offside and he's bowled slightly outside the off. He's making Ethan drive. That's what you want to do.
Yeah. It's getting a bit of shape as well, which might be effective, but there's no slip. So
And Ethan drives it perfectly for a single.
yeah, happy with that. Rotate the strike.
Yeah, there's no need to do anything different for them.
Yeah, the sun's getting low in the sky now, really in the box. Makes it a little bit tricky to see what's happening in the middle necessarily, but that's way too short. He's happy to just drop that basically down into the ground and on the leg side and pick up another single. Good thinking, Buster Hill.
Absolutely. Just
Nice and tight, Muddit, nice and tight.
the name of the game is just rotate the strike.
Waiting for that big.
And he slashes it hard. Ethan Clark runs between point and third man. And Richard Bridges cuts it off and Ethan runs for a quick double.
Yeah, good. There wasn't much risk there. The fielders are up. Probably on a circle. He went pretty hard at it. So, got a reward. What is it? At the moment, there's been 4 runs off the over, so they're ticking along nicely. Good opportunity for Ethan there.
And Ethan gives the charge, and looking at that, Sashikant bowls it flat and fast, just outside the off stump. No room for Ethan to swing it.
Yeah, he tried to give himself some room there, but sort of got the line a bit wrong there. But that's okay, he survived. Again, 4 from the over. Even if that's the only runs to consider this over.
Change of run up for the bowler. That's a
Oh,
beautiful shot.
That's lovely.
Nicely pierced the gap between cover and extra cover, and that's raced down to the boundary.
Oh, that was lovely. Just front foot forward, leant into it, smack, right along the carpet. Beautiful. Hit well, right out of the middle of the bat. Top shot, that'll make him feel better.
Absolutely, and it's 11 overs gone, 76 for 1, Pembroke in response to chasing 124. And they require just 48 runs of 54 balls as Sashikant finishes his spell for 4 overs, concedes 28 runs and gives away and takes a 1 wicket actually.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's it's not enough. I think his captain really needed him to try and get under 4 and over or 3 and over or something, difficult to do if the batsmen are prepared to play their shots and they can find the gaps. Ethan Clark's now moved to 22 or 26. Had a slow start, but now he's catching up very nicely. So that's smart batting by the young man.
Yeah, and as we speak, it's Sahil who's facing the captain of Wicklow. It's a beautiful Yorker, beautiful Yorker.
Oh,
Unfortunately, it's sloppy fielding.
Oh, that is terrible. His captain would be not very happy with that.
And in fact, Sahil will get a boundary. It will not even be
Didn't even
biased.
put his hand, he just put his foot down. Oh, for 2 fielders there, and it still went for 4. I mean, I think that just sort of sums up
Wicklow's day.
Wicklow County's day. Yeah, that's what can go wrong is going wrong. Not a bad ball, so he'll do very well to keep it out, and as a result, he gets 4.
Well rewarded.
Anyway,
Now they have very square fine leg and extremely square third man.
still a long way to go, and you have to think that this another wide. My goodness.
The extras is what the difference is for the score right now. And there's a change in field. They've got square leg and they've got fine leg and third man extremely close to each other, straight behind the wicket. So,
Well, to me, that's a bit of a waste of resources.
Yep.
That's obviously bad bowling, or not a lot of faith in your fielder. It just allows you to have big gaps in some area. And there's another one down the leg side.
flicked off the pad from Sahil. I presume it will be given leg buys. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Again, I think it's just trying too hard. He's getting some hefty pace, and it's good to see. But if you can't control it, there's not much point.
Yeah. There's no use of pace if you can't actually trouble the batsman by bowling in good areas.
It looks like is he? Yeah, it looks like why don't you just try a different angle, around the wicket or over the wicket or something? Just mix things up.
That's a good ball.
Yeah,
Bowled at the block hole.
That's a lot better. No, he needs to just keep bowling balls like that. The least low to run rate down and hopefully get a mistimed shot from the batsman, or hopefully they miss it from their point of view when they actually get bowled. But it's getting to the stage where it's almost too little too late.
Another wide from the captain.
Extra moment, I think the extras must be the second highest score so far. That's not good.
That's not good at all. And I think Pembroke can heave a huge sigh of relief right now because they don't need to work hard for the runs. Wicklow County are just gifting it them.
Well, the trouble is, with this sort of bowling that we've seen except for the second bowler, Mr. Bridge, I think his name was.
Yeah.
That's
another wide.
Wicklow County are basically bowling Pembroke into the game, but
Yes.
they don't have to do. Even if there wasn't 2 quick wickets now, the bowling is so loose that they're going to get these balls in wides, or these runs in wides and no balls.
Absolutely. I mean, before this over, they required 50. I think 52. Now it's just 40.
I reckon just slow everything down.
Yeah.
Take a little bit of pace off that and get your line right. See, full toss there.
Yeah.
Lucky to get away with it. No, don't run, guys. That's what I would be saying if I was the captain.
Absolutely. And
No.
never run off a misfield.
Absolutely. All that cliche is a cliche for a reason. But, yeah, and don't take any risk at this stage.
You don't need to do anything stupid right now. Everything is in control for you. Yet again, goes for the extra pace, but the line and length saves him. Not the greatest of overs from the captain, but Pembroke are cruising at 84 for 1.
But again, it's 8 conceded and then over.
Yeah.
You know,
There's no need for those many extras.
if it wasn't for the extras, that'd only be 4. Now, probably still not going to be enough, but he's hasn't even finished. Oh,
That's a
there you
good ball and well pushed to the mid-on, but misfield again, and
Is it 2
Sahil
there?
calls for 2, and they run 2 comfortably.
So there's 10 from the over. I mean, that's, how can you possibly defend? Anyway, it's a lot of work that Wicklow County can go back and have a look at and see what positives they can take from this, where they need to maybe practice in nets and do some additional drills, whatever like that. But there's a lot of merit in sometimes just going into the nets and marking out some spots on the net and just say it doesn't matter what the batter does, just you just hit that length.
Give away or called away?
Anyway,
Well, there's the batting card for Pembroke so far. Ferris still the top scorer, but you can see those 19 extras off 12 overs, and that certainly isn't helping
no.
Wicklow County.
Well, almost 20 or 15 to 20% of the total.
Very much so. Well, we're coming to the end of this game now. The total required has dropped as far as 38. There are still 8 overs to go, and the required rate has dropped well under 5. Deck chairs, Titanic.
Well, pretty much. They're going to have to hope that their opening bowler here really gets his line right, because so far, apart from Bridge, I don't think any of the bowlers have really been outstanding.
Oh, this is
Oh, this
Riker.
ISO is a different bowler again.
This
Sorry.
is Riker. He's induced the top edge from Sahil with his first ball. It flew over the keeper's head where there is no fielder, and then 2 of them conspired to allow Sahil to get back for a second. Well, that's 36 required, and well, you could tell Sahil is after him.
Yeah, I think he just knows there's wickets in the shed, so you might as well have a swing if you think there's any room for movement there. Why not, as long as your team's in any trouble? But making some changes here. Bringing in the cover. Big gap if you can close it. Ring on the leg side.
Goes for another big swipe, and this time it beats the fielder down below as well and runs away for 4 byes. Well, that's disappointing for everyone. Sahil, he wanted to hit it for the bowler and the keeper, and in fact the whole of Wicklow County. 4 more runs onto the total.
Yeah, another example that just sort of seems to sum up their day, I think. When it goes wrong, sometimes it goes horribly wrong. Yeah, cricket gods can be quite cruel. So he'll be disappointed that he didn't get onto that. He thought he had that in his shot range. And just
This time he turns a full bunger into a full toss and he crashes it into the mid-wicket boundary. Another 4, and that brings the required number of runs down to just 28 now, with many, many overs to go.
well, it's the 3rd ball of the over and there's 10 runs conceded already. Yeah, I think there's... I don't know what you could possibly do now as a captain, except for, go warm up the car.
Well, this one's outside the off stick. It's slashed away by Sahil out to the boundary. There is a boundary rider there, They won't get any more than a single. But at the moment, you get the feeling it's an easy procession. And, well, Wicklow needs to sort of take a couple of wickets just to slow this rate down and to create a bit of doubt on the Pembroke sidelines.
Well, that's right. It's still, it's not much to go, 27 to go, but you think anything can happen in cricket.
It's a strange game at times. Let's hope it's not too strange and Andy Ripley sort of, believe it or not, territory. But again, Clark just punches one off on the outside. He's played an absolutely outstanding role there. He's on 25 from 31. Or 24. No, 25 from 31. He's close to a runner ball. He's provided admirable support for, well, what are, in effect, the bigger hitters of Ferris and Sahil.
I think he's played really intelligent cricket.
Good running from Ethan. Gets back for the second. Turns another single into two. Two more for Sahil. That takes him above a runner ball, or to a runner ball. 16 off 16. 100 up for Pembroke.
Yeah, 14 off the over. That was a very successful over for Pembroke. I'm impressed here that Ethan is showing his class in all formats of the game that he plays at the moment, both the ODI, I suppose you call it.
Yeah, the 50 over game.
And the T20 format. Been very intelligent batting. He's shown a little bit of frustration sometimes, but he hasn't done anything silly. He's been very, very intelligent in his batting, looking for the balls that are there to be hit, but just happy to work singles when they're there and turn ones into twos. Good stuff, just what his captain needs.
Well, that's a super shot down on one knee. He's cut that away behind square. It nearly takes out Steve McCarthy on the sidelines. Well, Steve himself would have been appreciative of that shot. 4 runs for Ethan. He's now racing along. He's on to 29. He's in some fine form at the moment for the fours.
Yeah, that was glorious.
Threes.
Absolutely. Big future, I think, for this young man.
Lovely shot.
Yeah, class.
Niles' camera angle there, really bringing out the beauty of that shot. He repeats it again. He puts it the other side of the boundary rider. It's another glorious 4. My goodness, the run's flowing from Ethan Clark's bat now. He's turned it from a bat into a wand because those were 2 magic shots on the offside. Front foot down the track and pushing through the line of the ball. And my goodness, he's made that pay. 8 quick runs for him and for Pembroke. And what is the answer for Wicklow County?
Well, short of divine intervention, I can't really see this being, victory being taken out of the grasp of or the jaws of defeat. It's been a great display. No, that's not going to be anywhere near the. Yeah, I suppose in desperation you've got to appeal for everything, but there wasn't a serious appeal.
Anything that hits the pads, I think, is going to bring some sort of appeal from somebody on the field at this stage. They really need a wicket, and they don't know how to go about it at the moment.
No, and I think it's too little, too late. There's no signs that this bowling attack is going to wipe out 9 bowlers before. Yeah, look at that.
Again, another one. This time the extra fielder on that offside fence, Richard Bridge. He fields that one and sends it back to the keeper. Just a single for Clark this time. Well, they needed another fielder out there. They put him out there, and immediately he saves 3 runs. But all he does is bring Sahil on to strike.
That's too early to call, and it depends on your criteria. But I think Bridge has actually been the outstanding player for Wicklow County. Got a strike rate of 200.
Yes.
And he's bowled the best.
Well, that was clever from the bowler. He was trying anything. He knew it was a bump ball, but he did try to deflect the ball onto the stumps in the hope of running out the non-striker. Ethan Clark hadn't left his ground.
No, but it would have been pretty impressive if he had got a wicket there. But no.
Last time I saw a bowler deflecting one onto the stumps, Zoe Bell. It happened just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, she's a class player.
Well, Sahil just drops one onto the leg side. All the fielders are well out. Another single for... There we go. Just bounced back, and he's tried to play it back onto the stumps, but it hasn't quite worked for him.
No, Ethan's been very watchful. Wasn't going to charge down the wicket for that. And I think the Pembroke captain would now start to feel a little bit more relaxed and maybe even crack the odd smile. And I think I saw him doing cartwheels before, but that was only allegedly.
Well,
here we go. It's we've got 6 overs to go.
I'm sure Gordon won't have forgotten the misfields and the overthrows of the first innings that allowed Wicklow County to get up as far as 124. They may have been under 110 without them. But change of bowling now. Nicky Fosco coming on from the St John's end in a late change. One suspects this is a throw of the dice for the Wicklow County team now.
And the bowler took a great catch for the 1 wicket that went down. I think he's been an outstanding fielder when the ball's come his way. But unfortunately, I think it's...
too little, too late, really.
Yeah, how are you going to save 14 runs? Yeah, when you can get singles.
Oh, there's one. There's a misfield. Will they look for the second? No, Ethan Clark overruns the first single. So, yes, very few runs required now. Just 13 more. Pembroke are on Nelson. 1-1-1 for 1 for good measure. And Ethan Clark now facing, and he's on 34. Pembroke only need another 13 runs. And it's tossed right up there, and Clark just cuts it away behind square on the offside. The man is chasing it, but he's not going to stop 2 to there. Clever play again by Clark. He's not trying to overhit in front of the bat. Quite willing to take the 2s further down the ground.
It's a lovely shot, actually. Just, play it the way, let the angle of the ball get past the slip. Here we go again.
Oh, and he's gone. He's fallen to a catch at first slip. Nicky Fosco takes what must be considered a surprising wicket. The end of Ethan Clark. He departs for 36. He's had a good weekend. He must be close to 100 runs for the weekend. And Pembroke now 1-1-3 for 2. 8 wickets in hand. You see here, Fosco flighting it up. It takes the edge of the bat, and Richard Bridge gets down to one knee very quickly to take that catch. Good, appreciative round of applause for Ethan Clark as he re-enters the pavilion. And he's taken his side, well, he's been there for all 113 runs, and he's taken his side to the brink of victory at this stage.
Yeah, he shouldn't be disappointed in that. Obviously, he would love to be there to carry his bat at the end, but wow, you'd have to think it's maybe not too premature to say that he's won the, or done a lot to win this game for his team. I'm hearing a couple of voices that people, are trying to jinx the total here, but I think even with a collapse of 2 or 3.
Well, look, you're talking about a collapse of 8.
Yeah, it's
going
to be pretty special.
10 for 8. They only have 10 runs to play with, 8 wickets to take. And Dan Murray is the new batsman. Dan, who's played a few games as high as the seconds this year. And he's been in some good form with the bat. Nicky Fosco now tosses it up again. And a spectacular dive to ensure that, well, I don't think there was any intention of taking a single, but he made sure that there was none taken. The screen is frozen here now. There we go. Back to the live action.
That was a great piece of bowling off his own, fielding off his own bowling. He's going to make sure that his figures are as good as they can possibly be.
This one played just down the field to the fielder, just a dot ball.
Bit lucky to get away with that, but anyway, he did.
Well, Fosco again now. Well, what was an appeal actually ended up turning into... Here's Fosco's fielding again. Goalkeeper extraordinaire. Keeping out a penalty in the UEFA Cup final.
And I think that must be the best over in the whole innings. 3 runs and a wicket.
3 for 1. 15 overs gone or 14? 15 overs gone.
15 down.
At which point
At which point we'll go to the 16th over.
Well, we will indeed.
Sorry, Vishal.
Well, it seems like another change of bowling. Live scorer shouting out. Graham's done a great job today scoring 2 T20s, providing us with the graphics we need for our screen. He's been so good, and now he's got a friend. Chewy sat next to Graham.
No, he does a great job for the club. Scores lots of games, umpires a lot of games too.
Oh, that's a nice punch up, and this time the spectacular Fusco dive isn't enough. The ball runs right down to the boundary. The fielder plays a little bit of football with it, keeps it inside the line, and keeps it down to a single. So 10 required now, and Sahil, and a no ball. Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness!
It's all going horribly wrong for them today.
So 20 extras, or thereabouts.
It's certainly at least 20. And when you're only defending 1, 2, 4, to make them only hit 100 off the bat in 20 overs. Lovely shot on the offside. Of course, the field is so well spread after Ethan's couple of drives. The captain hasn't readjusted the field.
No.
Having got rid of the guy who was scoring freely over there, you'd think you'd now return to...
Well, I'd go back into a really attacking field because, you know, you might as well try and get a few wickets to save a bit of pride. I mean, you're not going to win that from here.
No.
You're just not with the quality batsmen that they have at the moment. So, go home early, you know, half an hour early and try and get some wickets in the process.
This one, the bowler does his own fielding. Feints to fling it at the stumps, but doesn't. And that's the one thing you have to say about the North Wicklow innings. No overthrows.
No, that's the one thing, one of the few positives you can say, I'm afraid. Oh,
this has come off the edge, bottom of the bat. It's flown down to third man. It will just be a single. Dan Murray, he's off the mark with the 5th delivery faced.
Exuberance of youth.
Frozen screen.
Yep.
And there we go. That unfreezes it. And you can see it certainly wasn't where he intended hitting it to.
No, the placement at the end was good, but it was...
well, Sahil's onto the full toss. That's gone for 4. That's gone a long way. And that now makes the scores level. I don't think they're going to win from here, James.
Well, it'd be a world record, wouldn't it?
It would be some... I tell you...
We found a run that wasn't...
Viral. Viral.
That'd have to be... Look.
Yeah, so this time of the night where we do thank Graham for his work as scorer today. I'm sure Gordon was absolutely delighted when Graham agreed. Six's game was off. So many thanks to Niall for providing us with these production facilities.
And
many thanks to Sahil for just smashing the ball away and ending the game. Well, there we go. It's an 8-wicket win for Pembroke, an even better win than they had this morning. But 2 out of 2 today. A great bank holiday for Gordon Clark and the Fours.
Oh, sensational. He would be absolutely delighted. This must put them in a very, very strong position as far as this competition goes. And it's very convincing wins in both games, you have to say. Win by 8 wickets in the 16th over. Wow. There's a lot of batsmen now who are looking in good form. So you'd have to think that, bar an injury or, commentators' curse, that they should be able to, keep this momentum going.
Well, Gordon's put together a nice little squad there, and he's also taken control, one would say, almost a coup d'etat of the training on nets on Wednesdays. He's brought a bit of structure to it, and it's paying off. Absolutely.
I mean, it just shows with a bit of focus and someone to drive it, Gordon's done a remarkable job, not just for the forwards, but also the thirds and the fifths and the sixths, in the fact that he's organising very structured nets. We have, good fielding training, and it's very professional. And like you say, it's paying off for all teams involved, actually.
And now the weather's improving. Nothing to stop people coming down on a Wednesday and availing of the training. And that goes for all the junior teams. And even the Taverners, if they're watching, they'd like to come down on a Wednesday and have some fielding practice, bit of batting, bit of bowling, see how it goes. Anyway, the teams are shaking hands. Pembroke delighted with the result, and a good day for them. They've won 2 games. The first one, they won by a large number of runs, and the second one they've won by a large number of wickets. Niall now taking us through the cards. There's Wicklow County's batting card. They got up to 123, only for 5, which sort of suggests they left some runs in the hutch.
Yeah, there was definitely some money on the table there that they left. Just couldn't get... In the end, they just couldn't get enough runs for the last 5 overs. You know, they just were stifled. So I actually thought that they'd be closer to 140, 150 in their total. And that might have made things a bit interesting, but...
Well, there's the Pembroke bowling figures, and you can see they're all quite tight on the runs given away. Nobody really got tap. Naveen, well...
Brendan got a little bit of
went
touch
for
up.
more, and Ferris... But 1 over at the death, well, that was always going to happen. They were chasing runs desperately.
Oh, no, it wasn't. He bowled very well. It's just that they got lucky, I think, 2 good shots.
10 extras as well in the Pembroke innings, and 24 extras in the
Wicklow County innings. Yeah.
Well, Wicklow County bowling, and there you go. I mean, that meant that that Pembroke Fours only really required to hit 100 off the bat. Ferris got them off to a great start, and Ferris and Clark both top scoring with 36, and Sir Hill with that 4 off the final ball got up as far as 29. But the thing that really matters there, I suppose, is that 24 extras. When you're only defending 123, it makes it very difficult. There's the Wicklow County bowling. Well, there's a few in there who will be pleased with their work, notably Nicky Fosco. He'll be in the captain's ear, I'd say, at the next game. Just
Quite rightly so.
going for 3. Picking up a wicket, and then another wicket for Sashi Kant. He got 1 for 28. I have the wrong glasses on.
And it's interesting, Nicky Fusco took that catch as well, so he's had a considerably good day compared to the rest of his team, I would say. And he was very agile and very fast in the field.
Well, our groundsman, Dale McDonough, he's out there. He's seen his pitches stand up well here at Sydney Parade today. He's asked for the big covers to come on overnight, and they're being brought on by the 4th team now. So we'll leave you with any highlights that Niall might decide to show you. We'd like to thank all of you who did tune in today. We hope you enjoyed the cricket as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. And now we go into what we like to call the breaking down time. So thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you from James and from Prakash and from Eli and Charlie. So going from a state where the first team can't get a single commentator to a state where the 4th team had 5 commentators. But good fun for everybody. Gave us all a break during the day, and we really enjoyed it. So thank you for joining us. The next broadcast from this club will be on Wednesday.
Wednesday, yes, women threes against
Wednesday will be the next broadcast, and that will be the women's thirds, and that will be brought to you by my fellow commentators. Thursday, the women's firsts are here against Merion, and we'll see how that game goes. And then next weekend, they'll undoubtedly be broadcast on both Saturday and Sunday. You will be sick of the sound of us by the end of this summer. Thank you very much for joining us, and we say good night to you now. Good night.
Good night.